Call the meeting to order. I asked for public participation. There was none. I just reviewed that we would look at the forecast to date. Dan sent an email out a week ago, sort of highlighting some things. So Dan, I think you should have share capability if you want to share. If you don't, let me know.
Not yet. I can't share yet.
The ability to share. Hi, Liz.
You should.
Good evening, all.
Hey,
Thank
Liz.
you.
Yeah, Dan, I don't know why you can't. The
It
settings
says, it says the sharing is not on. The host is not allowing sharing for this meeting.
Uh-oh.
Who's host?
all right.
Yep.
Do you have what he sent, Jim? That you could,
I'm not really logged in, but
Right.
I could get it if Dan sends it to me.
So you can't turn the sharing on?
no, I can't, I'm trying to. click
Working on it.
Gonna have to turn it on the TV. Like they did the last time. I think we'll just have to go over.
You go to the bottom of the screen, the settings.
There.
Are you in Govinda?
No, okay, so I was
So the
looking at
agenda.
Dan's email.
Yeah, oh,
I don't see anything about sharing.
let me see.
Evan, the gizmo under the TV, does that say anything about sharing? Would you mind just looking?
No, same
I
here.
was kind of hoping he was gonna share.
It's under under more,
Yeah,
not settings, but more.
More, it says transcript, raise hand, captions, and settings. That's
Yep.
all I have.
Difficulty with Dan being able to.
And under settings, there's the fifth one down, so share screen.
With. I'm actually. Being able to.
Yeah, Liz is working on it. Let's give it a second.
That's absolutely. Go up.
This is the worst sorter.
Yeah, this is.
Evan, I don't think you can do anything.
Doing worse.
That has become clear to me, Dan. Thank you.
Why don't you move on in the agenda while we're fixing this?
Did you say something, Liz?
Yeah,
D. Sherry is gonna correct it.
you just texted, okay, great. That was my next move. Okay.
We'll just give it a minute.
Want to do minutes?
Yeah, we could do minutes. Well, we could do, you want to just talk about the reserve fund transfers? That's under this year, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, two of them.
I mean, I can do the minutes. Can we just let's look at the reserve fund transfers, if that's all right. So I know we talked about these, I think, at the last meeting. If so the master plan, Liz sent out an email with some explanation on the master plan and the reasons for the town looking to complete it. And this $50,000, I believe, was the money needed to get it done. And so we had a conversation last meeting about what grants might be available or not available if it is or does not happen. Do we know how much money has been spent to date on the master plan, approximately? I don't know if that was in the email, and I'm sorry.
It was in the email, total budget of 120, 20 was provided by MAPC in a grant fund, 50 from the state through a grant fund, and the last 50 was to come from the town.
Thought the last 50 was another state grant that we probably didn't get. The way that agreement was.
I'm assuming,
I can't speak to that. This was before I
Right, I understand.
when I inquired with Kevin, he didn't know that, there was a $50,000, deficit. I don't know where that miscommunication was, but I can't speak to that.
The
thank
way,
you.
the way the grant was written and what I received said there was $250,000 was supposed to be coming from the state
That's
grants. Two of them.
Oh, okay, well, it looked like only 20,000 was from MAPC and then 50 was from the state.
Because there was two mention of two different grants
Mhm.
in the application thing, the second one.
Okay, but Kevin said there was a $50,000 delta. Is that what you got from Kevin?
Yes.
Thank you.
Correct.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may, because I know I spoke about this at the last meeting and said that I find that master plans are among like the most useless documents in municipal government. I stand by that, but I missed the lead here, D, so I appreciate the email you sent out. I didn't realize that this was a $50,000 obligation that we had already signed on to and just not paid. I thought this was a case of like scope creep where we agreed to a certain scope and then they said, oh no, it's going to take more work than we thought. And so we need another 50 grand. If that were the case, that's sort of what I was operating under as an assumption, but
Okay,
it's very comprehensive email for the whole committee and no problem supporting that.
anybody else? Comments? All right, do we have a motion? It's Joe doing.
Oh, I'm
I'll
sorry.
move it.
Number here, yeah. I move the sum $50,000 from the reserve fund, as a reserve fund transfer,
For the master plan.
master plan.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there anyone opposed? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Next item on the reserve fund was a fire department study, which again, we heard about at the last meeting, the meeting before, to do a comprehensive review of the department and practices with the desire and endeavor to try to help reduce some of the costs, particularly associated with overtime. And so that department study for reserve fund is $43,000. I'll entertain the motion first.
I move that we approve $43,000 from the reserve fund transfer for overtime.
Second.
Seconded by Evan. Thank you. Discussion.
This isn't overtime. This is for the study, right?
It's for the study. Sorry, the motion is not for, yeah, you're right.
Overtime study.
It's
It's like a
overall
with a focus on the overtime.
Okay.
strategic plan.
You guys gonna do that yet, D?
Probably gonna be MRI from
Okay, great. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great farm. Yeah.
the Chief Duggan.
Yeah. Good, honest work there too. And they have a diverse staff too, fire background, police background, management background. That's great.
That's the quote that we've been given.
Any other comments? All right. Motion before you is a reserve fund transfer for the fire department, overall study of $43,000. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried unanimously. Thank you. All right, back to sharing. Is that possible still? I know,
Yeah,
I saw Sherry on briefly.
We're good to go.
Okay. All right, you can zoom that in a little bit,
Yep.
please.
Working-
Thanks.
How's that?
Yeah, keep going. Dennis and I are in the back row as usual. Keep going. That's good. Thank you.
We got it? All right.
Yes, sir.
So, spent a bunch of time putting this, figuring this thing out. And, I still have a couple of holes. One is I don't have a number for the, CBA. I think that'll be coming in the, sometime in the not too distant future, and we will have, a meeting right before town meeting on that article. So right now I'm showing 3,893,000 as a shortfall based on everything that we know. Sorry, I lost you for a moment.
Sharing.
Can you reshare?
Yeah, I'm getting there. Hang on. I did something before to keep that from happening. And now I don't remember what I did. I closed some stuff down.
Okay,
All right, got it now?
yes,
Okay, so 13 million. And I mess around with that a little bit. I'm just over 13 million. I know Ed spent some time on it, looking at it, had some other ideas. He came in around 13.3. Give or take, we don't know. We're just, it's a good guess. I'm leaving, I still have the state receipts at 14.9. I understand that, the last meeting that Liz did some calculations that off the House proposal, our net was actually a small decrease. Some items went up, some went down, but the net was, I think, a 90,000 decrease or something like that. So I just left that alone because we just don't know. And I think in terms of everything else, I think we're pretty much known based on everything that's going to be voted on tonight, except for those two items. Everything else is set. So we're at 3,000,008, 93 for shortfall, continuing into the following years. And free cash is gone basically at the end of 29 and early 30. We run out, and then our reserves at the end of 27 will be down less than 10% at 7.658 and so forth. The only other thing I might mention is in terms of the local receipts for 26. This is our best guess number at this point at, again, roughly $13 million. That may.
all gone.
Oh, we lost you there, Dan, and you're muted. There you go.
Yeah, sorry. Damn it. Wish this wouldn't happen. So the 13 million for 26 does not include the 43,000 or the 50,000 we just voted on. What I did is incorporate those values in the articles section of this spreadsheet, just so I would get it, on in the numbers. It's not in the right spot, but it's close enough for now. So basically, we need to make some changes to our budgets proposed for town meeting to close this gap. One other thing I might mention is on the results, I'm assuming that the schools are going to be at 5%, then 4.5% for the foreseeable future. And I've also got the medical at 8.2 for next year, going down to 6 and 5 going forward. Otherwise, it's 3 or 4% across all the items. So that's what we're faced with, 3.9 million.
Okay.
Questions on that? So the other thing that I did that we're going to talk about is I started playing around with potential changes in the various.
Lost you again, Dan.
This is what happens in Maine.
They gotta upgrade. So I don't know, Jim, do you want me to talk about some ideas on where we might cut, or you want to just wait on that till later?
Well, I think it's, I know we talked a little bit about OPEB and things like that at the last meeting, I think, correct?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we did.
yeah, I mean, we talked about possibly actually not putting money into OPEB and possibly using money from OPEB. And so, that could make a big difference in the number. And then the potential budget changes would be less potentially. So you want to just talk about that for a minute, Dan? you can bring up, a scenario if you want. I think, it'll stimulate dialogue.
Sure. Maybe this one. And so, well, I just threw together some, trying to get some ideas. And basically, if you can see this on group insurance, a $2 million swing, drop the 500,000 contribution, use $1.5 million for OPEB to pay trust benefits. We get about $3.5 million a year in investment income. We're not paying anything out except for management fees. So we would still have a net increase of around $2 million a year on the OPEB trust. The trust is now somewhere over 47, probably $48 million today. The other spot I thought might make some sense is on the Health and Human Services. We lost our $100,000 on the opiate settlement. So I thought 90,000 might make sense there. I'd like to ask the schools to cut $500,000 out of their budget. Evan just told me that besides Lexington, Watertown, Marblehead, Winchester dropped, was it 30 teachers?
That was don't quote me on that, but that was, I had heard that, but
Yeah,
they're facing the same, look, I think they're facing the same fiscal cliff that a lot of communities are right now. We are just, we delayed it for a few years because we've been in better shape with our reserves.
right. Yeah, exactly. So then when I did this, the other thing I said was, well, we gotta hold the line, because this will only buy us a year. And so what I did was I said, if we can do this on future increases, 3.5% for general government, fire, police, DPW, Health and Human Services, rec, vet, library, and schools, those are things that we are more easily controllable. Where we have difficulties, of course, is the group insurance. We can't really do anything about the VOC. There's a lot of budgets that are kind of stuck, if you will. But I know that these are some that could work. And if we're able to hold the line on these increases year to year, then we can maintain a roughly 10% reserve, and we won't run out of free cash, not for a while anyway. So this is something I was playing around with. Obviously, we can look at other scenarios, but this is something that I thought could be doable.
Can you go back to the forecast and plug in the 1.5? Or if you don't, if it's not done already, or
Yeah,
0.5 of the 2.
$1 swing, but it's
2 million swing, sorry. It's a $2 million change.
Yeah, it's
right. $2 million change. So here's what the numbers look like. We still have $1 million shortfall for 27, but then we'd actually have a small surplus for 28 and 29, and then small deficits thereafter. I hope you can read that.
Yep.
Can see it.
And then on free cash, we drop down around 10, then it creeps up a little bit. And then on our reserves, we start out at 10.8 at the end, I'm sorry, 10.4.
lost you again, Dan.
Yep.
Yeah, it didn't work on that spreadsheet.
I really wish this wouldn't happen.
You gotta go back to the first one. That's why I
Yeah.
wanted to do it live, so to speak, if you did. If you had it.
Anyway, so I hope you caught the 10, we can hang around 10% on the budget reserves.
Right. So in the original forecast, you had a 3.9 deficit, right?
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
you roll 2 million back, so that goes to 1.9. Am I correct in that?
Right. And then $500,000 for the schools.
Oh, these are all with the proposed cuts you mentioned. Got it.
Yeah, 90,000 on Health and Human Services. And the other thing, we can close this a little bit by shifting the 300,000 for the parking lot. If we shift that from 27 to 28, then 28 becomes pretty much a neutral, and 27 has a shortfall of about 700,000 instead of $1 million.
there any value to seeing it with just the swing from OPED and look at how the numbers, if not,
Yeah.
don't amuse me. Do you know what I'm saying? So we
Yeah.
can see it kind of
Can
like.
you just, can you put back in those other cuts real quick and just have the OPEB swing?
Just the OPEB? Yeah, I can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I know, I
Thank you, Dan.
know that won't be too painful, I don't.
Then everyone can see what the number is, because I feel like now we're making it go away with magic. Just
Yeah.
in case anybody out in the world wants to watch this meeting afterwards.
The watch and go, all right?
It's Health and Human Services.
So I guess starting generally speaking, OPEB, right? So we've always either contributed to OPEB or not contributed at all. In my brief 13-year tenure, we've never taken from OPEB.
Never at all.
Never at all, says a gentleman to my right. So it's not a place to feel comfortable about, in my opinion, but at the same time, Dan has expressed and really done a nice job explaining how well we are as a community and the fact that, you know, in times of very difficult times, you could use it for certain things, which is perfectly legal and legitimate to do. So thoughts on that?
Get,
Go ahead.
in the forecast, does that assume go forward? Is there a contribution or is there a takeaway again? What does it look like in those future years? Or is
It's,
this just a
it,
27?
right, I continue to take money out. Let's see, I can bring it up.
Excuse me. The swing
Uh,
is no contribution this year, using
Yeah.
1.5.
Net of a change of 2 million.
Okay.
yeah,
Right. And in
Can you-
future years, the same thing, because he's just carrying that same thing
Yeah.
forward.
What
Yeah, you
happens
see
on
it-
what happens, go ahead, Dan, sorry.
yeah, so you can see I'm just carrying it forward, the 1.5 million.
Which that's sort of done automatically with the file, so we don't need to mess it up too much, but it's a very valid question.
Well, that's kind of your idea though, isn't it, Dan? I mean, you're kind of comfortable with the rate of return we're getting on OPEB that we'll still be getting a positive return with OPEB, even taking out this 1.5 annually. Isn't that kind of
Right,
your?
yeah, and you should be able to see that on screen.
Yeah,
Where
now.
we're at.
The numbers
for 20
above is the gain,
Yeah.
right above the,
Okay,
So-
that's the game.
Yeah, so we got
yeah, that's an annual
51,
gain.
right?
Purely
At the
on
end of
OPEB?
26, we
Yeah.
should be at 51,
On
and then it
OPEB.
goes 54, 56, 59, 62, and so forth.
OPEB investments make the gain. Yeah.
But wouldn't that 3.8 be less? Well, you already took it out of the principal, right? Is that what you're telling me?
Right,
All
it's coming out of principle.
Yeah, obviously. Sorry. I see it.
I
So anyway, I
think.
think that's an interesting step to take, given where we are to date. I'm looking for feedback.
I think it's the easiest first step to take. It'd be one thing if we were draining down on OPEB and the rate of return wasn't keeping up, and so we just create a situation where we're going to run out of OPEB money and not fund our obligations there. But if Dan says he's comfortable with the rate of return, I'm pretty comfortable with it. And I think it's the easiest, whether you want to say politically or just sort of in the interest of the town, it's the easiest move to provide some relief here in a way that is actually kind of sustainable because of the steps that we've taken on OPEB that Dan pushed for a long time with Steve and Kevin, because we've been so healthy there and making the decision to contribute over and over again. Our investments there are doing really well. So I think it's a good first step, but I also think we got to go a little further to close that gap. That, I don't know if it's exactly where Dan's suggesting or not, but I think we need to confront sort of the freight train that we talked about last year. We've known this is coming. This isn't like a Chicken Little situation. It's real and it's happening all around us. And we can either deal with it now or make more catastrophic cuts down the line.
So, by the way, on the investments, the OPEB trust is with the state PRIM, the PRIT fund.
Yeah.
And the average return for the last 35 years is somewhere around 9%. So we've been doing very well.
I
Ellie?
think I echo what Evan's saying is that this is a good first step, but deficit spending is not going to get us to where we need to be in this, I don't want to call it a gimmick, but I think we don't want to be managing through these types of steps and kind of messing with the balance sheet as much as we are at this point.
All right,
Having missed some time, so with the $2 million swing, we still have more money to make up to close the
Right.
gap, or the gap's closed. I can't see.
yeah, there'll be more money to make up, or you go into the meeting with some sort of deficit, spending like we have historically, for example. But the number is, was a 1 point,
What's the number?
well, it was just under 4 minus 2, so it was,
There we go.
1.98.
Is one?
Yeah.
No, 1 point.
1.5, I don't know why.
1.5.
It was 3.9, take away 2.
That's
I can do that.
How's it coming to 1.5?
Plus they add the 5 in there from the schools.
Yeah, 5 schools.
Yeah, he might, I used to use the 5 built in.
Yeah, is the 5 still in there?
Okay.
Yeah,
We all-
no, I put the 500,000 back with the schools.
Let's just go with the fact that, right, it was 3.9, we're taking away 2.
Yeah.
We're left with a 1.9. 1.9 shortfall because there was no other cuts made to the original file that we started with.
Yeah.
Okay?
I think,
Other comments on the OPEB?
well, there's one other piece is that, I delayed the parking lot.
Okay, that's where it's coming from. We can get back to that.
Okay.
That makes, that,
Yep.
yep.
Don?
So Dan, we're showing the OPEB balance. What's the OPEB liability?
Oh, okay. I have that here too. Right now, we're at 94 million at the the 25th,
25.
25, yeah.
And we were going to be fully funded on X year in the future, with the path we were on, which isn't all that important, but we were going to become fully funded as a community.
We were always
Well-
way ahead of other
We
communities.
are still way ahead, but we were on track to become fully funded.
Well,
This
the
will
other thing,
change
yeah, the
that
other
track.
thing, yeah, you remember, Jim, that the other thing in our policy, in our plan, I should say, is that when the retirement fund becomes fully funded in 2036, there's a huge drop in the retirement payments, and we're going to divert that to OPEB, and we'd probably be fully funded in OPEB like by 37 or 38.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, so I agree. I think we discussed this at our last health insurance meeting. I see it as using a portion of the growth each year to offset some of the expenditures. I view it almost like a university using a
Mhm.
portion of the growth of their endowment to fund operations.
Metaphor.
So,
Anybody else on the screen? Did you?
My only thing was, let's do one at a time. Let's take care of the OPEB unless we want to visit it to go up higher later. That's something else.
Yeah. Running the 1.5 forever is
Right.
just because the sheet works that way.
No,
I don't think that's the intention of the discussion unless you think otherwise. That's
So the only,
not my intention of the
the
discussion.
only thing, if we vote it this way right now, which is the 2, this
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
the 2. And when we meet on town meeting night to take care of the other reserve fund at that point, free cash at that point. If we have to revisit again and maybe throw another 5 at it this year to bring it more palpable, depending on how we make out with the schools, then revisit it again as a second bite. I don't want to do that,
Okay.
but not foreclose it out at this point. But it's the only place we can do
Well,
something.
yeah.
it gets us above the 10%,
Yeah.
right?
Well, with additional cuts,
Yeah.
you currently at 9.5, I'm looking at it right there. Percent of budget, sort of in the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
So without additional cuts, we're at 9.5 right now. After
Yeah.
the OPEB.
Right.
After
you
the
have to
OPEB
remember that-
change.
Yeah, I put the health and human services back in, and I put the schools back in. So that's why this track doesn't work without
Yeah.
some other relief.
Right. Is there anybody else on the screen that has a comment? Any hands up? Can you see? Okay.
Sorry, I have one more.
Yeah.
So I know we talked a lot about the investment income. I don't want to take us down a rabbit hole, but I know if Ed had the conversation and is comfortable, I think I can be too. I just wanted to make sure that we're all comfortable with that number that's in the forecast and what, Dan, what you have in there for that.
So the investment income, is that still at 2 million, Dan, for the local receipts investment income?
Yeah, I came in at 13 million, and I can do is I can bring up, let me bring up my spreadsheet and how I got there, and
So Ed is going to be presenting, I think, D at town council Monday. Is that right?
Go to town council on Monday.
Yeah. He sent an email that I don't think I forwarded to you. As I say that, he spoke about the fact that this year he feels comfortable explaining things between the bond and the other local money that he's moved around. He says in the email that, I told Jim that this is not long-standing or something to that effect, and you should be cautious about it. And that was me. And I understood that, or at least I was comfortable understanding that. So what he was trying to say is, the school bond goes away and we have the regular money. He's going to make less on the regular money because he had 100 million that he was enticing people to give him good rates on. Just
Oh, yeah.
let me allow you.
Big a carrot.
Let me read between the lines. But that being said, if he still continues to do something like he does today, the investment income could be better than it was
Sure.
for a foreseeable term.
Okay.
But he's got to just.
Still 100 million in the bond.
I don't know what bank it's in, but he doesn't have it.
Whoops.
So
Guess I better not sign any more of those
I
invoices.
don't know. He said 40 million. So I don't know if, you might have money in the checking account and he's only managing what he's managing in the long-term side.
He's not, okay, so is that all?
I think he said 40 million. I could bring the email up and
Because I'd like to talk to him about it because we don't need,
there's more money available.
there's more money available.
I get it.
If we're not, the money going out now is a lot slower than it was
Yeah.
in the beginning when we're doing the steel and everything else. Now it's like half of what we were paying. We were literally spending 10 million a
10
year.
million, you told me 9.
Now it's 4 to 5.
Yeah.
So there is no need to have a lot in a checking and not in a.
My assumptions based on the email about what he had and what he was working with.
I think it would be helpful to have that cash flow
Yeah.
presentation that we talked about because of
We haven't, we provided it.
Well, you provided a cash flow of money being used.
Yeah.
Ed did not provide the cash flow. Ed is going to town council on Monday. I have no other information other than an email sort of re-explaining most of what I just said. So I think Liz and Dan are using 2 million for investment income as a conservative number, expecting that to be higher. Is that a fair statement, Dan?
well, I just threw up the OPM report that Joe had sent to you, and then
Yeah.
you forwarded to me. So
Yeah, high school only.
high school only for 27, 1,000,004, and then for 28, 1,000,000 or 171. And then
All right.
so that means, I came up with 13,024,024 by just doing some estimates based on their motor vehicle, penalties and interests and all the way down. This is my investment income total for 27, which includes the 1,000,004 plus 2 million of regular investment income to get my 13. Everything else sort of lines up with what it used to be. And Ed did the same sort of thing, and I'll let Ed speak for himself, but I think he came up with around 13.3, but with similar numbers. Ed.
Yes, one thing that the OPM did not do in his report is we also get reimbursement from the MSBA.
Yes, we do.
Right, so that has to be factored in as well, because I noticed that usually when these OPM reports that I get will factor that in as well. So I just want to put that out there.
They got the report.
Yeah, they got them.
Yeah,
You
so
just
that
gave
should
me
be
they got.
considered as well.
But we also get the money from the MSBA, and then the one time when we're spending 10, we're getting back about 5
Right. So that
because we're getting 54%.
right. So that's going to be
But then
factored
they take things away.
in terms of the projections as well.
Okay, so are we comfortable with the 3.4 on the cash side?
3.4.
The income, the investment income, it says
Oh.
3.4. Am I reading that right? 3.4 million?
Yeah, that's where I am. And sounds like I might be a little bit low because of the MSBCA.
Okay, but it's a little more aggressive than I thought it was, so that's okay right now to me. I don't know about others. Comments? Liz has a different number for different reasons. And we had some dialogue on motor vehicle excise, but so are we all right with the 13 million? Okay,
So-
Ellie's shaking her head. She asked the question.
Yes.
Okay, but the other thing is, my concern though is in the following year in 28, because
Right.
the drop off,
Understood.
I've got 12.1 or 12.2 there. But in my spreadsheet, the big one, I'm still sitting there around 13. So I got a big delta between local receipts on 28 right now that I can't get my head around in terms of what that 28 number ought to be.
Right. I'm encouraged to think we're going to be talking about income earlier and more often with the team. And hopefully when we get to before some of our meetings and before our tri-board meeting, we'll be in a better comfort zone relative to income, I think. Dee, is that right?
Yeah, next
Okay.
week we'll start with revenue, which is where you should start, and I'll
Yeah.
give you a number. And then you look at allocation, the school gets X, the town gets Y, and you live within your budgets.
Dan, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here,
Uh,
I think.
All right.
well,
Okay. Questions, comments? So we're at 1.9 deficit.
It was 1.5.
9. He got,
The parking
Oh,
lot.
he left the parking lot.
That's what I was kind of trying to
Oh, that's,
figure out.
okay, that's,
so it's a 1.9. So the bottom line is, are we going in with a deficit spend or do we try to get to 0, or where does this body want to land? Question, comment.
My conundrum is, no matter what we decide, I feel like we're gonna go to town meeting and everyone's gonna throw the cards up in the air and put things back where they want, to departments that they favor or don't favor, or like, you know what I mean? So is it better to make a recommendation or is it better to go in with a deficit? I've been on this board a long time on and off.
And we have never been here.
Yeah, well, I
oh,
have.
yeah, we actually,
You have.
I have.
And Dan has, but I have
Yeah,
not.
before, we've been there before.
We've been there before.
What, so, and
Yeah, we got killed at town meeting.
getting killed doesn't bother, but is it
Yeah.
useful time spent to tell?
I think it most certainly is, especially
To almost say
especially
like
with this.
where it's easier to sort of.
Absolutely.
attack.
I think, personally, I think, we should, I prefer Dan's schedule for their moving the parking, what is it?
The parking lot repair, it's an article. So again, you
I
gotta,
would move that and also of the 500,000 of the school because, and that way, it just seems to me that, when we met with the tri-board meeting in the fall, we told everybody kind of state level and just the contracts, your union contracts, and that's what you should advance by, and they went way over that. And I just think that we have to eventually put our foot down. And I've been here before when we've done it and it has worked at times. And there are times when the school department rallies the parents and they come out. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, that's what people should be. If they want that, then they come and they vote and they do so and they have their say. But as a finance committee, it's my view that we should go in with the most appropriate figure for the whole town. And if they want to have theirs, that's so be it. And but then they're going to learn that there are repercussions to that too, down the road.
So your viewpoint is, having experienced this before, make sound recommendations.
Yes,
And let the people speak.
absolutely.
so the mechanics, right? We have to vote on these budgets, and if we choose to vote a different number on a particular budget, that's what we have to do. That goes in the book.
Yes,
I speak to that at the podium.
Yes.
We chose a
you
different.
get yelled at, we don't.
They don't really yell at me. They yell at the guy up on the podium, moderator. But those are kind of the mechanics. I can't say in general we'd prefer to remove, $600,000. I believe we have to earmark,
You have to,
on the appropriations book where we want to suggest that comes from. The body can choose to get it from somewhere else or do something else.
but at least they know that we are in a situation, and I don't think people realize it. I don't think people will realize that we're in a tough situation here, unless unless they're very studious about reading the paper about other communities. But we have to let them know that, we could be in trouble.
That is my concern about OPEB. So for example, I agree with the body making that decision and using this money in this capacity. My fear is that if the town meeting body doesn't understand the gravity of the situation, they'll just think we'll go to our magic little pot of OPEB every year and disperse. Sorry, my hands are doing more talking than I'm doing. But
Yeah, and
I agree.
I am still very concerned about that becoming the new normal. Yes.
I think it's the right decision, but for this year.
Dan,
Yeah, a couple things. First, in the history, and Joe probably remembers this, I think it's 2009
Yep.
town meeting where the school department and the finance committee had a difference of $1 million. I was the chairman at the time, so I got up to receive the slings and arrows and argued that we don't have the money. Town meeting agreed, and the school department had to deal with the $1 million cut. And they did. I think school crossing guards were let go. They had to make a bunch of changes. But they made it work. So
And there have been other times when other departments we cut, and then they came and
put it back. For
Put it back.
example,
Yeah.
police got three cruisers instead of two a while ago. So, I mean, the job of the finance committee is to make recommendations to town meeting. And there have been differences between both schools and the administration in the past. There will be in the future, but it's our responsibility to lay out why we are saying these numbers need to be different than what's being presented on the third column, and the fourth column is a different set of numbers. The second thing I was going to mention is I already talked to Bill Carroll, our town moderator, about the beginning of every meeting for the last, 10 or 12, 14 years. Steve and I have done a dog and pony show, we like to call it, for like 15 years. We didn't do it this year, but I'm still going to do 10 or 15 minutes, whatever Bill will give me, to discuss where we are and where we're going and where the trouble is. And last year, I laid out that we're running out of free cash in 2029. We're still running out of cash in 2029. That hasn't changed, and nothing changed in the last 12 months or 11 months. But I'm going to be more outspoken, I don't know what, more dynamic maybe this time around in discussing why we have a $3.9 million shortfall, and we're going to run out of cash, and our reserves are going to drop below 10%, and we need to make some changes. So if town meeting ignores me, that can happen, and it has happened. Then of course they'll be ignoring Jim rather than me this time. But anyway, the two of us. But anyway, my plan is to speak to it for the first 10 or 15 minutes of town meeting, like I have in the past.
right. I mean, we have to, that's what our role is to explain. I'll explain, you'll explain. We're going to meet about the town meeting process actually next week with Bill and Dee and team. So we'll be prepared for that, obviously. There was something I was going to say.
So are we saying at this point that the OPEB recommendation that we're making is going to be different than the administration and the town council recommendation that's being made at town meeting?
No, I don't know that. I know Dee is working with town council's meeting is Monday night. So I know there are potential changes that would come out of that. I don't know if there's anything we had talked about the OPEB. I think the OPEB is the right way to go. I think, I'm not putting words in your mouth. It seems like it might be what town council would agree to.
Good options. I'm not gonna say anything publicly because I haven't had the chance to talk to my department heads.
Right. Right. So, yes, I think the OPEB will be something that will get probably utilized, but to be determined.
My question is, are we going to have a consensus with that, or is that something that the finance committee is going to be recommending that's different than what is?
I hope we have a consensus.
Okay.
Does it make sense that we have a meeting next Tuesday or Wednesday after the town council makes their recommendations? Because normally we make ours after we already know where the town sits.
Well,
We're the cart before the horse right now. And
Yeah, that was
because
gonna be my point is if
think
there's
it's-
changes,
No, I think it's the charter.
then
I think there's the charter, explains that we may have to meet after the town council has their recommendation. And we ought to check the charter on that.
And I think we've always also had a discussion in this committee about how like we'd like it if town council would sort of listen to our recommendations to inform their recommendations. So to inform their budget proposal. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but we're also doing an independent exercise here too.
Correct.
If it's a consensus, great, but I also don't, not to be like crude about it, but I don't really care if they agree
it
with
doesn't
it.
have to be.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Always going to be.
I agree, I don't care either.
but if our recommendation, so say we say, just for an example, we cut 500 from, we recommend cutting 500 from the schools, but they come back and, cut 1 million from the schools, then our number is gonna look a little wonky compared in the book, right? Compared to whatever they come back.
Yeah,
with,
and-
or
That's why I think
you just don't.
that's why I
Oh,
think
I'll be happy to meet them at that number. That's good.
Yeah, no, I know. I just want to make sure that it's a little.
compromise 750.
You're gonna say, Joe?
I think, I just think we ought to check the charter to see I think there's, as I recall, that it lays out a process where the town council votes and then we vote on their recommendation.
Yeah, I believe
I
it.
believe it does. We ought to just check it just to make sure that we don't have anybody,
my memory. Look at
yeah.
To read from the charter.
Sure.
Please.
Go right ahead. It's not that exciting, but go ahead.
So bear with me, it's a kind of a lengthy thing, but there shall be a 15-member finance committee, the members of which shall be appointed to 3-year terms by a finance committee selection committee consisting of the moderator, chairperson, town council, chairperson, finance committee. So arrange the terms of as nearly equal number of members as possible shall expire each year. Periodically as appointments to the finance committee near expiration as soon as practicable after that occurrence of vacancy in the finance committee, the moderator shall call a meeting of the finance committee selection committee for the purposes of appointing successor members by giving written notice thereof to the chairperson of the town council and the chairperson of the finance committee, and by posting notice in compliance with open meeting law, provided that the moderator fails to conduct such a meeting by the date that is 30 days prior to the expiration of any member's term or within 14 days after the occurrence of the vacancy. Then either of the other members of the Finance Committee Selection Committee may in the same manner call a meeting. The subject matter of the proposals regarding town budgets, appropriations of money, transfers of money, expenditures of money, borrowing of money or revenues to be submitted to a town meeting by warrant article or articles shall be referred to the Finance Committee by the town council at the earliest practicable time following their receipt by the town council. The Finance Committee shall report its recommendations on every such article contained in a town meeting warrant in writing, together with a brief statement of the reasons for each such recommendation. Before preparing its recommendations, the Finance Committee shall hold one or more public hearings to permit public discussion on the subject matter of all such articles contained in the warrant. Any other conditions of appointments or service as may be deemed necessary or desirable shall be established by this charter or by law.
Yeah, it's pretty flexible.
Well, basically, it says we get the last shot at the apple.
Yeah, but they could come in and, I mean, we kind of want them to take our recommendations. That's the whole point. So if they come in and change it to say, oh, good point, FinCom, we're going to adjust our proposal for,
Well, I mean, if they agree with us, then I don't think there's any problem.
yeah, I don't think it matters much. It's pretty flexible. It's might be lengthy, D, as you say, but it's pretty good. It's pretty flexible. It allows us to work together. We can make recommendations on their proposal. I wouldn't worry about the charter here.
If I may,
Yeah.
some of you may remember the issue with the veterans budget where we thought it was too high.
Yeah.
Said we should cut it because we don't have that many veterans taking the benefits. Town council picked it back up at their following meeting. They decided to leave it alone because they already voted on it, but they considered it and said, yeah, we'll cut it the following year. So there's no rhyme or reason between which comes first, town council or FinCom. They're independent.
Any other opinions? Okay. Any more discussion? Yes.
Do we know where we are gonna be at end of the year from all budgets yet? Have we got a better handle than we did 2 weeks ago? As to what we're gonna be returning, exclusive of school department, that's gonna do their own thing anyway.
We're still a ways out, probably. I assume that's what Liz is going to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, we're carrying a $500,000 to be returned currently. And she was comfortable with that.
I don't see it being much higher than that.
Thank you.
So the other thing,
Additional potential to reduce the overall.
that would be nice.
Yeah,
so the other thing we had talked about, and I think it started at the last council meeting, were the review of the fees. And I don't know, I think you raised some of them, but I don't know, where we are overall with all the complete analysis of the fees.
And we're looking at that.
Okay.
So if anything, that will flow to free cash if,
It would be a
get
big turn
additional revenue.
meeting this time, right?
Yeah.
Jim, can we see the number if you do the OPEB, the 500 from the school and the parking lot? But what was that number again?
Yeah, it's 1.9, it would go down to 9.
It goes down to 9.
If you do another million, let's say the parking lot's not 500,000.
Like 300.
I had 300 written down, but I don't know if that's accurate. I was-
Yeah,
The 300?
Joe's behind you. I've got it right here. It's
50?
350, you think, Joe?
I thought it was 350.
the parking lot, the net change, it would be 350 for the parking lots. There is a grant in there, so there was suggestion to do leave some of the money in there and take away the wall. The net would be 350.
So then I would say like we needed to find 1.9. So if we just did the OPEB, we still have like a 1.9 gap.
Correct.
Right.
Closed by 500, 1.4, closed by 350, correct?
Correct.
All right,
You're down to $1 million.
So down $1 million.
Down $1 million.
down $1 million.
I think we can live with that going forward.
I think that's a better number to live with than 1.9, to be perfectly honest. I'm worried about, and if the investments are better, that Ed was able to recover, then we'll be in good shape. I just can't see us. I mean, I don't think you'd be able to come up with investment of equal to 1.9, but closely run on 1, it might do something for us.
And are we saying that too, like the investment income may come in higher? And then we're saying that there may be 500,000 to return to budgets. Is that what?
500 is included in return to
It's
budget.
included.
The investment income
Oh.
would make that go up
Up, okay. Yep.
because it's not accounted for in the local receipts.
I would just say too, Mr. Chairman, any surplus we have from FY 26 just turns into free cash next year. It's
Mhm.
undesignated general fund revenue. So it's,
Right.
I don't know that it's important for Dan's forecasting, but I don't know in terms of closing this gap, I don't know that it's.
Yeah. So, yes,
Just one question. I think earlier this week there was some state action on some increases in I think it was chapter 90 funding.
yeah, so the House budget came out and Dan spoke about that briefly. The change, the House budget was, the original budget for the governor was 14.9, the House went to 15.2. And then the original take back from the governor was 12.9, and the House take back went to 3.1. So the math was pretty close to being unchanged. They give a little and take a little. Tends to happen. There's 2 pages to the cherry sheet. So I think Dan had his number left alone, but it worked out to about the same because there's a line item for state and county take back that's in there. So anyway, I looked at that closely as well, and it was very marginal. And that does include 160 per pupil instead of 75. So the chapter 70 money goes up 280, 290, 295. So my opinion is, we talk about $1 million. I think if we take it in 3 parts with about 300 apiece, 300 from the schools, 300 from the community, 300 from articles or capital. One person's opinion on a 15-member board.
But we're already taking 500.
100 from the school.
Taking 500 from the schools.
No, be 1 million. You need another million if we go in with 9. I'm suggesting take 300 from the schools, 300 from the town budgets, and 300 from articles or some facsimile thereof in those pieces.
So you're saying the
That's,
million.
that's 800 from the schools then.
The school starts at 0. My suggestion would be 300 from the schools completely, 300 from the community completely, and 300 from articles or capital or some facsimile thereof.
Okay.
You can do 333 and a
300 be the parking lot?
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Wouldn't the parking lot be the 300?
That's
From capital or articles, that's
From the article.
one of the 3.
1.9, not at the 1.
Yeah, 1.9 still, back to 1.9.
1.9, you would take 300 the parking, let's say the parking lot. Or from the article.
903 pieces of any math we choose, ballpark, get you to $1 million and go into.
Where will we take 300 from the 300 from the schools, 300 from the articles or capital, and 300 from the town?
Town budgets, yeah. I mean, I could have to look at the town budgets. There's
300 grand.
some budgets that are higher than we'd like, the school's higher than we'd like. There are some potential open positions, those kinds of things, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not suggesting it's the right answer. I just am putting it out.
We could have delayed open positions too and put us into the fall to relook at somebody's, put a freeze on it and say,
Again, you're still not making deep cuts and you're still not necessarily potentially impacting laying people off and resulting in more money than we might have otherwise expected.
Looks like Ed has his hand up first.
Oh,
I'll
sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah, so Jim, I support what you're saying. I think to have any shot of getting a cut in the school budget, we got to show some pain in other town departments. I think that's just a political reality. So I agree with you, and I also agree that you got to put a hiring freeze on board here and freeze out any vacant positions. This is something we're going to be dealing with over the next several years here, and it's going to take some steps now to make some cuts.
Yeah, this is Troy. I was going to say the same thing. I think the last 2 years when we brought up the potential cuts to the schools' budgets, why I did not support it was my concern was that it was going to appear to the townspeople that we were going to be unfairly targeting the school system. So I like the approach that Jim outlined. I understand fiscally why, because of the, school is obviously much more heavily weighted. Their budget goes up high. I understand the logic behind the initial proposal, but I think we want to make a recommendation to the townspeople that they're likely to accept in order to help try to reverse this. And I think if we demonstrate that we're trying to share the impact a little bit across the town, then it may be a little bit more acceptable to the townspeople at town meeting. So that's my perspective.
Thanks. Laurie.
Playing a little bit of devil's advocate, because we sit on capital planning, is that there's $2 million of capital planning ads, which we feel very supportive of, because if we don't stay on top of things, we don't replace things, we don't do things, then they fall apart. But there is still that there, and I'm not saying that's where we should go, but it might cause that group to go back and maybe,
No, it would.
yeah, to go look, go get, if we're coming up with the one spread, we haven't touched that.
But we can, if we're using the parking lot, we don't need to.
The parking lot's coming.
If we use the parking lot, then we don't hit the capital.
Right.
This year.
But But
Right
it's
down the road.
my understanding that this is 9 and we're still going in with 1 million left to close. Correct?
Right.
Right? So
Or use from.
that would be the next unfortunate logical.
No, not, if you're taking it from the parking lot, then the other 300 is from the town budgets.
Yeah, but we're still short $1 million.
Still short $1 million.
I know, we're short,
We'd go.
we were short $1 million either way we were doing it.
So you were, I thought the parking lot was an article though, like you,
Yeah.
it's in the 2 million, it's in the 2 million?
No,
No.
it's a separate
So
article.
Laurie, what we're saying is we would still go in with a deficit spending budget. The 1 million would still be unaccounted for.
Okay, yep.
Take that from free cash.
And that's a good,
Oh, all right, sorry, I thought,
Yeah.
And-
my mind was skipping,
Yeah,
my
right.
mind was skipping over that, sorry.
and that's a good thing to come into when you're also telling the town meeting, we're $1 million in deficit here, folks. You know, and maybe that'll hopefully convince them to go along with it. My only concern is that, the school budget is 2/3 of the budget and we're giving it equal with the town budgets.
Well,
we're,
equal with the 300 and 300, and the other would be articles, which was everybody, basically.
Yeah, again, it's just it's just a
Suggestion, yeah.
set of numbers.
has anyone, if I may, has anyone on the subcommittee talked to the school people that were thinking about this?
Well,
They just have a heart attack and that was it.
no, I mean, at the last meeting, we talked about
We talked about.
making cuts and needing to be nimble and things like that. And they're aware that,
At the tri-board meeting,
no, at the meeting,
The tri-board meeting, yeah.
oh, when you met with the school, okay, I was,
yeah, I think we met with the schools as well.
okay. And what was their reaction? Because I'm sorry, I wasn't there, I had one other meeting.
Their reaction was, there's
Don't they?
no interest in cutting.
Well, I knew that.
That's the reaction.
Yeah, no.
No, I would like to know what their reaction is gonna be. Are they going to, if we, even 300 or 500, whatever the number might be?
They've indicated that the time frame in which now until the end of the school year on June 30th would be a lot for them. That was the commentary that we received.
Yeah,
We're not cutting this year.
Yeah, no.
But they have to give notice to have cuts for next year or something like that.
They
Notice.
give notice beforehand anyway to everyone.
You want to know how
Much
much
process, to do it every year.
their number,
So I don't think that that's a concern, because they give notice every year to like a lot of the people. So
Right.
at least that's where they used to.
I don't know. I don't know if they,
yeah, a lot of the temps they have to notify anyway automatically.
I think if there's a cut then they'll try to avoid that cut at town meeting and they'll see how it goes. Evan?
Yeah, I just think even at Dan's number, 500,000 from the schools is less than 1 percentage point in their overall ask. Like if that's causing a cardiac event, I got news for them about what's out there in the world. That's not so bad. And Dan, I know you have, I don't want to put you in the spot, but like, can we just take a quick look just to Teray's comments about, because I hear you, Teray, you're trying to make a case. But I also think like part of our job isn't to count the votes, it's to tell the town what's financially viable. And I think if we look at the rate of growth on the town side versus the school side over the last, I don't know, decade, we're going to see like a pretty lopsided, race there.
Twice the amount.
And
That's what I have on screen right now. You see on the right-hand side, the 5-year average. The education includes the library, the VOC. So
5.2.
it's just the schools like over 5.7 or something like that. Protection of persons of property, 5.7. Public Works is hanging in at 3. 7.8 for general government. That's over the 5-year average increase in general government, 7.8. So the idea of spreading the pain amongst, the major departments, to me, makes a lot of sense because all the departments have been causing pain.
okay, I'm wrong then.
Yeah, it was a little eye-opening.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify. I think the point that I was trying to make was that we want the reductions to pass. I mean, I think we all can agree as a
Right.
committee that we need to reverse this. And the last time we tried this with the $500,000, I think it failed twice because they gathered a whole bunch of, I remember one meeting, it was a bunch of parents. I think what I'm saying, in order to make the case to the town, I think taking this approach, and I think we can probably do it proportionally. I think someone noted that the schools, you know, let's say if we're going to cut $1 million, we can, if the schools is 55% of the budget, then we can, you know, try to make that case. I think that's an easier case to make to the townspeople to get them to go along with our plan than them getting the impression that the schools are targeted, because the schools are definitely going to rally like they did the last two times. That was my concern.
It's a valid one.
And that's my concern as well. I think that's absolutely correct. I'm talking pure politics here, you know? I mean, I think if we lay it on most of it on the schools, it's going to get shot down. I'll get a shot at getting that school budget cut. So I think we should try to spread the pain.
Yeah, but just to be clear too, Dan's recommendation did have some cuts on the town side too,
Yeah, I did.
particularly in Health and Human Services, where we have that problem where the opioid funding run out.
Right. And I was going to delay the parking lot.
Yeah.
And
Is it
I think we should delay the new police officer till spring at the earliest. That was the other thing I looked at. And again, some kind of hiring freeze until we get better numbers in the summer. And that's something we've done in the past. Steve has said, don't fill that position, or don't hire that contractor, or don't execute that contract or that service until we get a better idea of what our numbers look like in the summer, and just delay and just, wait on spending money.
And I think that's the case that has to be made, especially not filling the police officer position. I think that will resonate. That will show that there's being pain across the board here.
Yeah.
So when you say hiring freeze, do you approve a budget with a potential hire and just do not hire? How's that mechanics work?
That's what we did in the past.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just
We
did.
do the math on it, right?
It doesn't solve your problem, really, does it?
Well, it delays the impact for whatever months you got.
Really, it doesn't delay the impact to the levy. I mean, you're still raising and appropriating that money if you're funding it. So I don't know what problem we're solving by doing that. I think the discussion is whether or not to fund it.
It just comes back in free
Well-
cash later.
Return.
Yes.
No, well,
Wait a minute.
It does have a short, if you think about like, it has the short-term impact to the current year, because if you, let's just use a round number, you have $100,000 employee and you fill it, I mean, like in the private sector, sometimes you're like, fill that in December, or like, something like that. So you've got like, 11 out of 12 months of free cash. Your budgets look great
No.
for that year.
Yeah, but
But to your point, Evan,
Yeah.
you're delaying something, but if Chief's made his, I'm playing devil advocate, if Chief's made his cause that he's got a whole bunch of retirements and he needed an extra officer, it is a temp fix, not a temporary fix. It's not a permanent fix, but as you're trying to acknowledge, he has a need, he has a legitimate need. Can you stave that off to get through the next year?
Yeah, I'm just saying, if the position, let's say if the new position's $100,000, whatever budget, doesn't matter.
And-
$100,000, and say you fill it in January, halfway through the fiscal year. I understand you only spend 50,
Right.
but you've still taken 100,000 out of the tax levy. You've still taken 100,000 from the taxpayers. You just haven't spent half of it by the end of the fiscal year.
Get
There you
It
go.
goes in the free cash.
Like you
Well,
said,
Yeah, I know,
no,
but
no.
I don't know. It's not really.
you save it in the fall town meeting when you have to come up with other money with free cash, you're using it then. You're lessening the impact.
Ed,
you can reverse the final budget is the tax recap in the fall. So you do have to legally budget the full amount of the salary. Okay. So it's $100,000. You leave it vacant. Okay. You have an opportunity to reverse that appropriation or cut that appropriation down in your final actions in the fall. So you're going into the tax recap with a lower budget.
Thank you, Ed. You made my point.
Yeah.
but in a week and a half, we go in with a higher number and are using more free cash to balance the budget at the end of town meeting.
That's what currently is on the table, yeah.
trying to be clear.
Do those additional cuts that you recommended, does that get us up to the policy level of 10%?
I don't know what Dan's number is.
Like 9.8 or something like that.
Well, that was a different number, but
Yeah, what'd you have? You had 300, 300, and 300.
yeah,
I had,
$1 million.
I had 500 plus 350 plus 90, which
It's
is
not the same,
same. Yeah, we got it the same spot.
right?
9.9.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, 9.9.
More comments, suggestions? Ready to vote?
Do we have a voting sheet?
Yeah, do we have a sheet?
I don't know.
I think that might be no.
We do.
Where is it?
Where is
I
it?
will share my screen.
Thank you, Liz.
I will unshare mine. And Liz, can you send that to me? Actually, everybody.
Yes, I will.
Lori, go ahead.
See, when you look at your staffing town hall, you have one vacant position, and excuse me, because I've had I've missed 2 meetings and I've listened. Are you revamping? Are you looking at staffing all the positions that are open, or are you reorganizing the positions that are there?
So whenever I have a vacancy in any role, we review it to make sure that it needs to be filled either as it is. We have technology that has come in? When I was in North Andover, we were eliminating some positions because we had technology that we could employ. You know, like we'd have a retirement or a vacancy, and that's the perfect time to look at positions to say, can we delay it 6 months? Can we reassign the duties and give someone else a stipend? Can we look at how we've done business? Is there another department that can assist with this? Are we using Munis to its best capacity? So yes, we look at every single position.
But you're in process.
In process, yes. We have some.
So-
I was gonna say, we do have some that I think we can delay. Again, I'm not gonna say because I don't want to tip my hat before I've had a chance to talk to my staff, but Liz and I spent all day going through the budgets on the town side.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So just another mechanics question, I guess. When it comes to an article, if we're proposing to eliminate the article, where does that show up in the book? Either Dan or Ed or Joe, like,
On the recommendation of the article, individual article.
I had a book. Maybe I didn't look at-
No. Indefinite postponement, indefinite postponement.
Yeah, okay. And then in the case of I had a conversation with Joe, so let me just be clear on this real quick. So the parking lot was $350, but there was $100 earmarked for a rail to trail parking area, which they're working to get a grant towards. So let me make sure I get this right, Joe, right? Speak up if you want. So he was suggesting for the parking lot to cut it to $100,000 and to cut the retaining wall. So the net was $350. So the parking lot was $350 in total, but he asked me if we could to keep 100 still in there so they could work to get the grant, which would result in a negative $250, and then take the retaining wall away to make the negative $350, which was the total article originally for the parking lot, but by splitting it up.
That's what I thought. I thought we had a grant that was.
So the parking lot's $350. We suggested getting rid of it, and it was a conversation that we had about, in lieu of getting rid of all of it, do this instead. It's still $350, but it was 2 pieces. A lot of words, sorry, but
Right, yeah.
the wall would go away 100 grand. The parking lot would only go away 250 instead of 350 for a net 350.
And if we're unsuccessful, that 100 would get
So what is the article? Is the article for 350 right now?
The article for the parking lot construction is 350, including two components.
And so we will change it to 100?
One component is 100 and one component is 250.
So the article then our recommendation would be for
Parking lot access 100.
for 100.
Correct. And would also make a recommendation to eliminate a retaining wall for 100. Two different articles.
Separate article for the retaining wall. It's not in the parking lot article.
Oh, there's a separate article for the retaining wall?
Yes, I'm sorry. I tried to be
I
clear.
didn't understand that.
Two articles, one 100, one 350. The net would be 350 again.
So that would a reduction then of 250?
Yes,
350.
350 total.
Do the 350 total.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I don't know how to do.
That'll give you the three up from the articles.
I'll be up at the podium all night at this rate.
You're gonna have people going, huh? You want to do that again?
Okay. Miss Liz?
I am here. Switching back and forth between two screens. One is
sorry,
my,
You had something up on the screen. I wanted to make sure that was yours. It looked like it was.
The vote sheet, it looked like maybe.
yes. But one, I have to go to my laptop main section for my voice, and then I'm on my remote desktop that has no voice. So
Okay.
if there's a little delay, it's just switching back and forth.
Okay.
You want to start?
Yes.
Is the group finished? We can begin.
We can do general government.
Yes. Well, there's things in there that may have some discussion, but so we're going to begin voting. All right. So the next item on the agenda is budget articles for 2027. I'll ask Joe to make the motions, and then someone will second them, and then we'll work through the articles like we normally, the budgets like we normally would.
I move the sum of $4,531,330.06 for general government, with $3,732,565.06 from a tax levy and $798,765 from available funds.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Liz, could you zoom that in a little, like the 110 or 120 maybe? Thanks, sorry. Joe,
So if we're doing your 300,000,
Where does it come out?
which, what of
yeah,
these do we
Not here.
take that out of?
You're not going to take it out of here.
Why not?
Oh, I'm open to it. That wasn't what I heard.
So
Now,
it's
just
It's gonna come out of,
So where does the other 300 come from?
I didn't suggest where it comes from.
It's a nebulae. So it's either coming from here or scroll down, like.
Do you have a recommendation, Dan? Do you recommend a cut in this
He-
general government?
He talked about,
I didn't think I heard one. So
I'm just waiting to be recognized.
Oh, I'm sorry, your hand is up.
my
Discussion,
hand is up.
Dan.
Thank you. So I wanted to talk about the town council budget,
Very good.
because
where'd it go?
the town council budget is going up.
Can you have him move it up?
Liz, could you?
Liz, could you move that up?
There,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the town council budget is increasing 2.6% with the transfers, tax subsidies 0.6%. But it's the transfers that's such a huge amount. And what I wanted to find out more about is the vacant assistant town manager position and what the plans are around that position.
That position will be filled as it was when Kevin was in that position.
I guess you didn't hear me last week. We had two people, and you can give them whatever titles you want. two people were doing the job that you're asking for three. Kevin and Steve did all of the stuff. And I asked the question of what additional services, what things are going to be added that weren't being done before. I'm just looking for a substantiation from going from two people to three. What's
Well, you're
moving?
actually inaccurate, Dan, because Liz was the second position in finance as the town accountant.
And what,
So-
and what
you're-
year?
Last year there was three.
Last year there was three.
What was Liz's date of hire?
Liz, January of 2017.
January 6th of 2025.
25. And the 20 years before that, who had that, who did that work?
People,
Other people?
two,
Oh,
two people did it.
Hold on.
when Steve came in and wanted to make the subcommittee to look for his replacement as an interim carryover, they proposed when he got out to when Liz Denise came on, that there was gonna be an open area. He proposed Kevin moving up to an acting town manager and staying on as town accountant. Once that Steve was off, then Liz came on as dropping his town accountant job and hiring a town accountant. He was the crossover position.
Right. So
It didn't say it was gonna be a permanent position, it was transition government, basically.
yeah,
That position.
there was dialogue about hiring the third position at some point. So I went back, a memo from Steve, April 8th, 2025. My desire to run lean has resulted in the delay in implementation of some important managerial systems and frankly has strained some of our available personnel. Complexities demands town administrator's office can't adequately be filled by one person anymore. Virtually every other community sports an increased staff with sometimes multiple duties or assistants. This necessary alignment of senior management reflects a large percentage of increase to the town council budget for FY 26 and FY 25. We funded 100,000 from an assistant town administrator position, and the town planner was still funded by the opera money last year. Increase in FY 26 town council budget as abnormal and should level out in future years. I thought when I read that was him talking about the need, because I know I had conversations with him about the need for the three positions for the assistant town manager, and I know town council talked about it at various points, but anyway, that was his memo to us last April in 2025. So
You have someone that wants to be recognized, Jim.
Ed. Sorry, thank you.
You know, I don't know how Steve was able to do it all these years. I think he lived and breathed the job. But Dee, isn't it safe to say that in most towns you have at least one or two assistant town managers?
That is correct.
Right. Okay. So in my view, that we haven't had enough management at the top here, and given all of the expansive functions that are taking place in HR and planning and whatnot. So I fully support this proposal.
Somebody else? Evan.
Yeah, so I kind of, first of all, I think Dan's question is fair, though. I think like it's fair to look at the position, it's vacant, and it's
Absolutely.
say, okay, we did this for so long with just Steve and Kevin, until Liz came into the picture, as sort of a transition plan. I understand, but I also think Steve was nuts doing it without an assistant town administrator. How many direct reports do you have, Dee?
23.
That's badass crazy. So like that's too much, and so I think it's totally fair to have an ATA. I think it's kind of crazy not to have one. But like I also think Dan's exercise here is an important one, which is we should be kind of drilling into the need for these positions. So, but I this one I do support.
Okay. Anybody else with a hand up? Don,
So I think that looking at the structure certainly makes sense. And, I've brought it up before that in most communities, the treasurer and the collector are not elected positions. They're part of the fiscal department and would roll up to the fiscal director. I think if we're going to do this, we want to look at that structure and make it to be a structure that works rather than having, elected treasurer, elected collector, elected town clerk, that, while we've got good people in those roles now, we have no management control over those positions effectively because they only go to the voters every 3 years. So
We can't
would
fix
be,
that. It's budget process, right?
No.
no, I think that's a long-term objective, is what Don's articulated in the past.
but I think having the town manager's vision of what the structure should look like is something that we should be looking at.
Exactly right.
All right.
And I think maybe I wasn't saying it quite the way I should, but I think the overall concern is you're seeing workflow in a way that you have this many direct reports. You and Liz are trying to get a certain amount of work done, and it's cumbersome. But I think when this body, I should speak for is looking at the whole totality of what's in, there's Sherry, there's a communications director, there's the vacant position, there's a director of strategic growth. And so, are you looking to combine any of those or reorganize those, assessing the fact that you have this need for, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but do we really need a full-time communications director?
And these were all positions created under Steve.
Agreed.
So
this is why I'm looking to you.
I'm not gonna tip my hand to say
Absolutely.
I'm gonna consolidate any positions publicly before I have a chance to talk to the people who could be impacted. It's not fair to ask me
No,
that.
that's fair, Dee.
That is very fair. But you're looking at everything globally.
You're looking at
And
everything.
that's why I was trying to tiptoe before. But I think the more direct path to this conversation is you have a need that's not being met. Ed's telling me, whose opinion I very much value, that this is an uncanny way to sort of run town without hierarchy. And I think as a body, we're trying to say, well, is there some organization of things? And
Yes.
I think what you're saying is you can't tip your hat right now. So that's not going to help us for this budget, good, bad, or indifferent.
And in,
Can we look at the general government again? Just, is there any other area?
Can we see the general government again, Liz? I'm sorry, back to the sharing.
the assistant town manager and the HR director, has that been filled yet?
No, it has not.
So those are the two that are sort of senior manager positions that would report up to the town manager.
Correct.
What are you gonna cut?
Not admin.
That are town administrator, that are critical positions.
I mean, there's not much there to cut in
Yeah, I mean, the only,
government.
yeah, I mean, we could suggest that position get deferred or not hired right away and fund it like potentially could be the results of discussions.
Yeah.
I mean, I struggle with the IT budget. I think the IT department is heavy. They're all managers or some level thereof. When that budget came through, I asked a few questions. I'm not.
Oh, it's also up because of telephone too.
Well, there's definitely the move. The telephone budget went into IT, as I recall, right, Liz? Yeah.
We always got our $7,000 and $7,060 from us.
Yeah. Take it.
Take it.
Yeah, can we
Take
actually
it.
do that finally? Yeah.
But our recommendation comes about total
What the hell is it?
line item, right? Not the by.
Know what it is?
Yeah.
7,000.
Yeah, we have to, it has to come from somewhere.
Maybe some organization.
One,
Is that?
Yes, that's what it is. It's stupid.
Us to run the company.
Right, so if we, line item is where it would be cut, not by department, right? So if we said we recommend 3-4 from levy.
So practically speaking, I would suggest that we take the 300,000 that we're talking about, take all of the town side of the budget. What percentage does 300,000 represent? And then we take that percentage and reduce each one of those town side budgets by that percent.
So
So
like a
That's,
sequence.
that's not practical.
It's not practical. You can have elections, you have to have, there's,
You can't,
you can't,
some budgets won't be affected.
some budgets you can, I don't think you can.
but you'd be taking it out of 4.5 million. Here, you wouldn't be taking it out of town clerk.
You gotta be going
Where are you gonna take it from?
and everything else too.
Whatever percent that comes out of, if it's $60,000 that comes out of the 4.5 million, then the management team's got to figure out where they're going to get it. Because we're appropriating 4.5 million. So
But
Sorry, Dennis.
we're also including police and fire in that 300 number. So you've gotta go farther down the screen to take it out of the whole budget, not.
that's why I'm saying you take, you just proportionately take it out of each of those
Big item.
big items on the town side.
Can't do that.
Otherwise, where are you going to take your 300? How are you going to designate the 300,000?
Yeah, I understand where you're saying, instead of taking out a certain amount of money for each one of those individual budgets, at the ones that we're voting on, the lines that we're voting on, proportion it out at that level.
Yes.
And then so that 60K, the town can figure out where to take out that 60K across all those 15 different groups.
Dan,
Police, fire, and all these.
Can we do that?
Certain amounts.
She emailed it to
I don't like the idea.
Yeah.
It harkens back to the Tommy Butler approach that I'm against. You have to set priorities. As one, where do we want to spend the money? And just do it across the board makes no sense because now you're cutting things that we otherwise would not cut. And we should be cutting something else that is not as important to make up, whatever difference. So I would vote against the across the board cut.
Evan,
I also think it's, and this isn't, don't take this as an insult, but it is like kind of like a lazy way to address the problem where it's just like, all right, lop it off across the board. And I think like we need to be a little more surgical than that. I don't think we can just kind of do it indiscriminately. Don't take the word the wrong way, though. I appreciate sort of the idea of evening it up. But I think there's stuff in here that we have contracts negotiated and there's stuff that we have to do. So doing it across the board is just not going to work, I think, practically. But I appreciate the attitude.
But then you're asking us to say, where on the government side of the budget are we going to take out 300,000?
Yeah, that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
If we're taking the money from the school,
Right.
if we're taking 300 from the school, we have, and they have to make that determination. We have to make the determination where the money's coming
I
from.
agree, but we have how many budgets how
How
many appropriations on the government side that we're going to have to take it out of? And how do we decide specifically out of which one we're going to take?
Which is why I went for the 500,000 from the school. Sorry, Jim.
And I'm going to
Argument for taking 500 from the argument for not doing it this way on the town side is, you're forcing the schools to do the same thing.
Well,
Right.
when they're 2/3 of the budget and they came in well above what we had talked about, I think that's reasonable. I'm sorry. I just do. But I defer to Jim's idea to try to be nice and equitable, and Ed's feeling that it'll be easier to get past. But I think we have to find 300,000 somewhere.
Okay.
I'm
I
going
don't
to
think you can just knock X percentages off of things. I don't think that works.
I could see this in its totality.
go ahead.
I'm
Yeah,
going
were
to
you talking?
propose, on the number, well, we don't have a number for human resources. It's a blank right now. I guess that might be number 48 or something. But I would like to see us
Number there.
reduce human resources by 90,000.
What's your intent behind that, Dan?
the human resources, number 15.5.
Line item.
Budget number
It
15
doesn't
and a
even
half.
get the
Yeah.
number by itself.
I'm just saying, why 90?
Oh, I looked at the personnel and how much the salary is going to cost. And so I picked 90 as something that would be doable on a practical basis.
Do you know what the workload demand in HR is, Dan?
It's huge. It's huge everywhere. If we don't have the money, come on.
It's gonna be rough anywhere, everywhere.
So is this a
Everywhere
$90,000
it's gonna be
position?
tough. There are
What-
no easy decisions here.
Which position are you looking at, Dan? I'm just trying to understand.
I just looked at all the positions.
Is there a position funded at $90,000 you're intending to eliminate? Is that what you're saying?
Or two small positions.
Are you not in HR though? Aren't you thinking more in Health and Human Services?
You know, and
I mean, well, here's the deal. We lost $100,000 because of the opiate settlement money. And because we had the settlement money, we added people. We had the same issue with the New Bedford cops, right? I think it was cops or firefighters a number of years ago. We had all this money, and so we hired a bunch of cops or firefighters, and we said, these people can't be permanent because this money is temporary. Well, the opiate money was temporary, yet we want to hang on to all these people?
It sounds like you're referring to the Health and Human Services budget, like the health department though, not human resources.
Scroll up.
As
Right,
Health
where's
and
the-
Human Services, it's number 15.5.
Where's the health budget?
It's not in general government, right?
Yeah, we need to see this.
I don't have it.
I know.
I don't think it's in general government, Dan.
It's not.
No.
It's called
health?
Wakefield Health and Human Services.
Can you just scroll down, Liz, and see?
But what you're referring to is human resources, which is a completely different department.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
HR versus health department. Yeah. I understand the mix up, but yeah.
Yeah, scroll
There it
down.
is.
There it is.
Okay. All right. That's a human services vote. So we can, because I'm reluctantly with you on that one, Dan. I've heard your argument on that one. I agree, but it's not HR in general
That's not,
government.
yeah, it's 26. I'm sorry.
I got you. That's okay.
We're saying there's 90 in Health and Human Services.
Yeah, but we didn't
All right, back to
look at that. We're looking at general government.
the general government. Is there a recommendation to change the number? Laurie?
I have to speak just to that number?
Yeah.
Because my recommendation would be to do 200 off of general government, the 90 or 100 off the health and human services, leave protection of persons and property alone, since most of their budgets for fire and police are set by contractuals. And if people can disagree with that,
Understood.
you know, I would argue that there's less there to play with at this late hour of the budgeting process.
And then we're gonna come back for the fire budget later anyway for more money. So that's an automatic, so.
So
But where are you gonna take the 200?
Take that fire.
you take 200 from general government, the 90 or 100, huh?
Yeah. What's your like?
Which one?
Got to figure it out.
That's up to them, right?
That's up to D. Right? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, we must. It's also okay to say like, okay, but this is like, if you have a position in mind that you think would be a solution, but you don't have to either.
So no, that's a great question,
Yeah.
Evan, to which I've proposed to Dee, but Dee says that this time she can't answer for facts that she's, I don't want to
Okay.
speak for you.
Yeah.
That she's,
Oh, I see.
she's looking at
Or
her
reorganization.
organization. She's assessing workflow
Okay.
and she hasn't talked to personnel. So in that,
Right.
I respect all of those things. This is your first year. Where you're trying to figure out what you need. So if we can't get to the sort of specifics of like what you need and you haven't fully gotten to assess that yet, then there's a number, but not a person.
I got you.
Right, I understand that now.
So if we go back to general government, please, Liz. Sorry that you have to drive if you're still there.
Thank you, Liz.
All right, so there's one open position in the town clerk, the town council. Currently, the assistant town town administrator position or whatever that title is. I'm sorry.
You said there's an open position on town clerk, is that right?
No,
No.
town council.
Are there any open positions that we know of in any of these?
I don't believe so. There's no open positions, D, is that right, to your knowledge?
There, D?
HR director.
Director.
Yeah, director.
HR director slash town administrator, which is actually budgeted at less than 200, right?
Correct.
Or around 200 maybe,
I had it up.
170 or something,
Hold on.
150? I just want to be careful with that.
It was 200.
The 200 out of 4.5 is, a pretty good chunk.
So we basically have a vacant town administrator of 206, right? And then we have human resources, which is now its own budget, but the position that's open in there is for a salary of,
I think 150.
Dan,
So I just heard a suggestion about just having a lower number for a total of 4.5. And I was just going to comment that that won't work in the book because the book has each one of these individually. So if you wanted to lower the 4.5 million by 90,000, you have to pick a spot
okay,
or spots. So I wouldn't do that. I would leave general government at 4.5. That's my thought.
Are we moving? Isn't that one article? Those 15 budgets, aren't we moving?
an article.
General government, one item.
It's one motion for 4.5.
That's correct.
They say as presented in the booklet, so they are locked in by,
So we can't just do like a bracketed, I get you.
no,
I mean, but I guess
you make one
Town-
motion,
wait.
but it
Town meeting can say, I want to reduce the legal department by 50,000 and vote it through. Because
Yeah.
what Bill Carroll will do,
Undercutting lawyers.
yeah, I mean, what'll happen is that, what they've done is lumped it as 4.5 million. And then he says, okay, is anybody having discussion on any of the items? So if a town person wants to get up and say, hey, I want to reduce legal by 50,000, then he makes that motion. And then somebody has to do, and it'll be, Betsy will go through and recalculate the total. Instead of being 4.53, it'll be 4.48, right? So
Yeah.
that's the way it works.
but I think the motion is on the bottom line number, Dan. So what you're saying is like
think it
a
is.
resident,
Yes,
a resident will get up and say, hey, I want to lop off 50 grand from the legal budget. And Tom, in the interest of fair sort of good faith bargaining with the person who's making the motion is like, all right, I'm going to help you write the motion and here's the math. But the motion, I think, is still the bottom line number.
Correct. The motion is 4.5, but then
Yeah, okay.
somebody basically amends the motion by citing a cut that he wants or she wants at one line item.
so across the whole town budget, if we took some number from here, there's a vacant police officer that maybe doesn't get rehired initially and reevaluate it in the fall. And then the third item comes from Health and Human Services, if that's where we wanted to go. That gets us to the 300 range, plus or minus, say 120 from this budget. Police officers around $100,000 maybe, I don't know. And then in the health department, another whatever, $80,000 gets you 300,000. I don't know what people think of that, but
Can you just run that through one more time? I got most of it.
I probably can't. So the general government be about
Stefan, did you take those?
general government could be, say, $120,000 change that could be reevaluated in the fall.
Yep.
And that's a half a position because it's going to take a while to hire anyway.
Yep.
Police department.
We're
The number for that.
The police department it has a vacancy. It was in the budget to try to hire another officer for all the right reasons, and that number was
$91,000
$91,000.
Okay.
plus
And so
benefits.
Now you're at 210. Let's just say.
No, more like 230.
That's the Health and Human Services for 90, correct? Is that?
Yeah, because with benefits, you mean, right, Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're not
We're not tagging into
Fair
that.
enough.
I can't put that in that line.
Oh, good point.
So, thoughts?
I still don't understand. You're taking 120 out of the general government. Is that right?
Correct.
Where?
To be determined.
It's up for them to decide.
So, but didn't Dan just say we have to report this to town meeting with the line items with it adding up?
Is that what
Yes,
is that what the book looks like, Dan? Yeah.
yes, it
Yeah.
does. The book has every single department individually.
With
Okay.
an individual
Right.
FinCom recommendation, yeah. And that's different from the motion too, and that's okay. I think we should, in the interest of like, we should identify the spot we want to take it from. If we're gonna make a
We
motion.
literally used to have to vote every single budget,
But,
all 60, or God forbid we went forever.
but the way
Yeah.
they do it now is
Now it's just,
general government
yeah,
as presented in the recommendation book
but we'll have to put 120 in there somewhere.
in the general mode.
That's the problem.
Sure. So then I would recommend we put 120 in town council and defer hiring the assistant TA, town administrator.
So. But wouldn't our finance recommendation be rather than 4.5, we would
The
do
4.411.330.06.
yeah. But without designating where that,
Oh, you have to.
You have
And
to
he's
take
telling
it.
have
you,
to.
they're saying, like, my idea was exactly that. And then Dan said to do it properly, we
You
need to
have to have,
actually.
because the book and town meeting will have the numbers for each budget. So you have to, if you take it out of town council, it's rather than 986, it's 866.
And
Yeah.
remember, we grouped these together just to speed up
I know,
town
we
meeting.
grouped them together to make it easier to vote rather than going through every single one of these.
Exactly.
Yeah. Steve came up with that idea.
To propose to,
Any other thoughts on how to split it up? Split up some amount of money in this grouping?
Mr.
Which
Chairman,
Ed,
yeah, D, for these vacant positions, do you have a projected hiring date?
Yes.
We could
the town-
certainly cut that amount. Let's say you're hiring in November 1 or something like that. We could at least see what the value is from July 1 to that point and at least cut that.
Yes, we have finished the interviews for the assistant for finance.
Mhm.
And the interviews for the HR position are next week. So I can foresee we could delay the hiring of the town accountant till the fall, and that. would
Yeah, I
change-
think it's going to take you a long time to hire a town accountant. I just know I've tried to hire similar positions myself, given this market. But what I'm just getting at is there's a lag amount of money here. You could reduce the budget by that
so if it is
amount.
the fall, as Dee suggests, is that 70%? Is that
Would be approximately $75,000
$75,000?
From the accounting?
from the accounting.
Should we take 75 from the accounting and 50 from the town council because we're delaying the,
Accounting is town. Oh, so I'm sorry.
right? Because you're delaying the assistant town.
Wait, I
Administrator?
think it's in town council.
I think it's.
Isn't it? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it would be in
It's 75 out of,
You would think accountants would be in accounting.
No, I-
I'm sorry.
No. Position is.
all right, so you take 75 out of town council. That's a suggestion.
Take 120 out of town council then.
Right, 75, which Dee has just indicated could be staving off of the position, and then the rest of it
No,
will,
the rest of it, taking the,
it will be Dee's discretion upon organization.
right, so we
Correct.
can take the 120 out of the town council budget.
How
Okay.
about we eliminate 15,000 from the assessor's office because we think that the services.
We're gonna wipe out to the whole town hall here. So,
What's that, Dee?
I would recommend that we reduce the assessors by 15,000. I think our consultant fee is going to be less.
Okay, good, low hanging fruit then? Okay,
D,
Any
is this the
more low-hanging
consultant for
fruit that you can speak
revaluation?
to?
all right, so
Steve?
now
Hold on.
we got 15.
15 is,
Sorry, Ed, go ahead.
No, I want to get clarification on that. So D, is that for the revaluation,
Administrator.
the consultant?
Yes, right, Liz?
No,
Oh, it's different.
those are warrant articles.
Oh, they're on
15's
the
a warrant
warrant
article?
articles. That's right.
No,
Okay.
that's right. The reval's a warrant article.
So it's what?
Now we're
75, 15.
So that's 90.
But I don't know. All right, that's 90. How much is the delay of the assistant town administrator? When do you think you're gonna be doing
Is
that?
that the 75 we just spoke about?
Accountant.
The
about
75 was the town accountant.
The town accountant.
which is in the town council budget, or is it, where does it lie?
It's in accounting.
It is in accounting. All right, so,
So
Oh.
the current position that Liz holds
Yeah.
is in the accounting budget. For whatever reason, the finance director, the assistant for finance is in the town council budget.
So the assistant town administrator is none of those people. Is that correct?
that's what's
No,
confusing us all.
It's confusing me.
So I have an assistant town administrator for 206, right?
That's.
Which is vacant.
Right.
And then we have another vacant. And then we have eight.
Well, that would cause a vacancy in accounting.
That's,
It's the same person.
Same person right now, doing both of those jobs.
What she's saying is 75,000 from the vacancy that's the assistant town administrator or the future town accountant. They're
Yeah.
the same people. It's one
Correct. So if we delay hiring a town accountant,
that's the 75.
that's
Same.
5
All right.
Same position.
15 from the assessor.
and 15 from the assessor. That
That
gets
gives us 90.
That's good. Let's move on.
I'm confused.
So let me re-explain what Dee said. The assistant town administrator is a position that's being filled by either an accountant. It's the same, one position that's vacant for the assistant town administrator, right? That was in the budget, the 200. That's the one position we're still talking about. That's accounting, as you said a minute ago. It's the same position.
That is the town accountant saying.
So
I'm-
delay hiring the town accountant
Yes.
for 6 months, and that would get us about $75,000
That's it. Total in all, no other people.
But
plus benefits.
Agreed.
and then there's 15 for the assessor.
Correct.
So that gives us 90 saved in general government so far.
That is correct.
Okay, and is there any place for 30 more?
I'm still confused.
Did
Can I
you
ask
say
a
finance
question?
committee?
Dan,
I-
it's just too, it's,
So what I'm hearing is that right now Liz is our town accountant. She's going to become the town administrator, assistant? That's the first
Yes, I
question.
haven't announced it officially, but yes.
So
Gee, oh God.
Again, it's one vacancy.
It's one vacancy.
there's one
I
vacancy and
get
it's
that. I
75
get
grand.
Let me finish. Let me finish. So right now, the budget for Liz is $158,000 for 27, rounding. So we're going to bump Liz to 200,000?
We're gonna leave that town accountant position vacant for 6 months. That reduces the budget to 75. So we're saving 75 there.
No, that didn't answer my observation.
I'm not gonna tell you what I haven't negotiated yet.
Well, that makes it really hard for us to decide.
So we are where we are. We have 75,000 from the town council, accounting, I'm sorry. Accounting.
it would be out of accounting at this point.
And then the assessors was another 15 for 90. So
And that'd be under contractual.
I would make a motion that we adjust this budget as I just described, with 75,000 coming out of town accounting and 15,000 coming out of the assessors for a new total of some number less $90,000.
So moved.
Any discussion? Just need a new number for my thank you.
So that doesn't,
And I think, Mr. Chairman, for the purposes of Dan's concern over, I think it's safe to say that the budget number for the ATA position that is vacant is the high end of the salary range. So
That's
he doesn't have to reveal her negotiations, but
correct.
I think for Dan's purposes, there you go. That's your high end.
So it's,
So the motion before you is to change general government budget from $4,531,330.06 to $4,441,330.06. Any additional discussion?
Can you slide the screen to the left, Liz?
Yep. All those in favor? Anybody on the screen opposed? No one here opposed. Motion carries.
all right, next part. Liz, you want to move it up?
Thank you. I think.
All right, before I make a motion, were we talking about the police officer here now? Is in the police budget, is that included?
There's a vacancy in the police department.
Fully
Vacant positions included in that budget.
It's included in that budget
For a full 12 months.
for the full 12 months.
Correct.
They haven't been hired yet.
That is.
Or he hasn't been hired. Sorry. And
Not hiring that position.
when do you expect to hire?
If I started the hiring process July 1st, by the time we got through the process, we got this person into an academy.
And the amount, what is this
Gene,
dollar amount? Well, for the year.
Full year, we have been there at 91.
So this is
so we,
46, 45.5.
so
45, 46.
What'd you say, D? I'm sorry, 45?
In practicality, that's what's gonna happen anyway.
anyway, so that's below lying.
If it gets funded, yeah. Oh,
Which-
yeah.
Minus 46 from 16,000,726.
Practicality, same as what we,
Cents.
the account,
Off the top of my head.
we here with the police officer. Take half of
I would also recommend taking $5,000 from animal control with our new arrangement with Melrose and Stoneham, where our assessment has dropped.
Nice work.
Welcome.
So Liz,
51,000 now?
50 or 51.
I can do that math.
so we have a 51,000 potential reduction here. We got parking clerk, animal control, inspectional services, emergency management. There's no motion yet. We're just sort of
No, we're
talking.
no motion yet.
Evan, go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to ask if I may ask the chief. So if we did sort of cut that funding in half so as to expect that we don't fund it until January 1, does that delay your plans at all?
Not at all. If I can get somebody in the pipeline,
Okay.
get them ready to go to an academy, I can look at the academy start dates.
Okay. My other question on that, like to the committee, is are we really solving the problem here? Because we're still baking it into the cake for the next year. And I know incrementally we've cut the impact in half, but we're still baking it into the next year. Same thing with like delaying the town accountant. Like we're still baking in a pretty sizable chunk into that budget in the next year. Like, are we actually solving the problem? That can be rhetorical, but just something that's occurring to me as we're
It
going
is
through this.
rhetorical, but your point is well taken. But it's in hopes that new town managers, like revamping what she needs,
Mm.
town departments should be getting a solid message.
Mm.
And you hope next year's budgets take that into consideration to the good. But your point is very.
We're just starting it. We know an increment's coming. That's what
No, I agree.
But I still like it. It's great.
Look, next
So let me,
year, we may have to cut it out. We may have to really do some cutting, heavy duty cutting.
right, so this is what we've been saying all along. These are,
Band-aids.
yeah, not a tourniquet, a Band-Aid. So two things need to happen. We need reductions, or we need an infusion of revenue, right?
Mm.
It's not to say which one is gonna happen more or less or the other, right? Maybe things will change with the state. Maybe we'll do things differently locally with what other items we have to talk about, potentially trash, for example. So, there could be more revenue coming in that could result in less cuts down the road, theoretically. So, I'm a proponent of this because of the sine wave that we've been dealing with for revenue, which I found very disheartening, and it was fine when I was in college, but sine waves aren't really good when you're talking finances. So I've had a struggle with this for the last few months. So just my opinion. Is there a motion, or do we want to do a subtraction there?
Yeah, I'm ready. I move the sum of $16,681,681,026 tax levy for the purposes of the protection of persons and property.
A second. Second by Evan.
Second.
Get the number. Liz, you're gonna work the number for me? Us? Sorry. If you're still available, sorry. I know you're somewhere other than here. Just so the scribe can have it as correct as possible. Thank you. Is that what you had, Joe?
Yeah.
Any discussion on the personal protection of personal properties? Anybody on the screen, have your hand up. Seeing none, the motion before you is for the sum of $16,681,026.19 for purposes of fulfilling the obligation for personal protection and property. All those in favor?
Aye.
No one here opposed. Is there anyone opposed? Teray? No?
No, I didn't oppose it. I was saying aye. I'm in favor.
Thank you. Is there anyone else other than in favor? Thank you. Motion carries unanimously. Next.
So
Dan,
Hold on.
is it possible to keep track what we're taking out in salaries?
Yeah,
Because at some point, we can take
The benefit.
15-20% out of the benefits also.
Good point.
oh yeah, good point.
Yes. So we have 45,000 from this group. The 5,000 is a charge back, so that's not salary.
And the 75.
That's a 75. and-
75 and 45 is salary. All right.
Dan,
Yeah,
the humans, what is, well, she took it away. Where'd it go? The
So
human
I-
services or something, or whatever, health and human services. What was the number? 90,000?
90K.
I was thinking a 90,000 for health and human services, but I'll defer only because we lost 100,000 on opiate.
Defer now, what?
Well, that's the next budget.
It's the next
Yeah, it's in
budget.
this group, Dan.
Didn't
We
we,
haven't voted on it yet. We haven't opened it yet.
Right, I'm trying to come up with the number if we're doing the
Oh,
90.
okay. Sorry.
as far as council on aging, weren't they gonna be adding another part-time driver? Could we postpone that?
Part-time driver. I don't remember that. I'm sorry.
I don't recall.
I
I
thought,
feel like we were getting another van.
Yeah.
I think Dennis, your memory is good because I do think in the capital budget.
Yeah, there is a
there's
capital
van.
budget, there's another van.
Adding a
yeah,
driver for
Yeah.
that. I do think
Yeah.
there is something there.
We're gonna get you to drive, Dennis, so.
But rather than do that, why don't we take $20,000 out of veterans benefits, which we.
I would never take anything out of veterans
For
budget.
chapter 115, you mean? Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I
Well,
would,
so, no, hold on. So I like this
So-
because,
Yeah.
sorry, Mr. Chairman, I'm stepping on you.
Go ahead.
We're gonna make a motion soon, but go ahead. The dialogue is good till it's not.
If D is recommending 20,000 reduction in chapter 115 benefits, it's because the recipients have, like,
Yeah.
across the state, this is happening, and it's sad because it means we're losing veterans, but it's just gone down at a consistent rate. And so it doesn't mean that anybody who's entitled to chapter 115 benefits won't get them. They will get them if we have to give it to them. So we're not taking benefits away from
and
anyone.
we're gonna have the same story that
If-
we heard,
if
when
I-
we did this 3 years ago.
If
3
I
or 4
may,
years
Mr.
ago.
Chair.
Liz,
So we did reduce the veterans benefits line last year. And that was
Correct.
agreed upon with the veterans agent and the town administrator. We discussed it again with the veterans agent this year. It is a downward trend. He is not even 50% of the veterans benefit line item spent yet.
and that's after 9 months, eight, 9?
Yes, and he is okay with that.
What was the number? 20? 20,000.
20,000.
I think
Just budgeting more than we
because I thought what he said was the benefits, they're collecting more and going a different way instead of going to the veterans agent. So that's why it's basically, they're being taken care of, but in a different part of the system.
The VA or something.
Yeah.
We're taking 20 out of that. Right, the new sum for, if we go with the 90
Yeah.
and the 20, the new sum would be, I would move $1,118,338.19 from tax levy for the purposes of human, what do we call it, human services.
For a second,
The 90 salary or not salary?
So that's in lieu of looking at the extra van driver.
yes.
Okay, right.
Did I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Discussion on human services. So the $90,000 in human services, that's a cut or some cut back because we lost the opioid money. Is that the essence of that?
Right.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
reason.
It's your reason, Dan. Did you have other comments, Dan?
Well, I want to get a little more information on the console of aging and the van. Because I don't recall that. And I was trying to find that budget on my spreadsheets.
I see, van
That was
drivers.
last year.
Yeah, van drivers, it looks like it's
Level
level.
consistent with
Yeah.
muddling my years.
I-
I think I
yeah.
might be conflating the addition of the van with the increase in the driver from the prior year.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, it's going up by about $5,000.
Because I know they're getting a new van.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just replacing the van.
Oh.
I don't remember.
But that was voted last year, correct, Joe?
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
van.
okay.
We just haven't gotten delivery of it yet.
Okay.
All right, I'm good with console of aging where it is.
Thank you. Don?
So the $90,000 from Health and Human Services, will that require layoffs?
Yes.
Yes, there are no open vacancies.
So far, we've been able to do this without laying off employees? Can we continue going through and then see what we have to make up rather than?
Cut, yeah.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair. I just am, and we can see where it lands.
Yeah.
I do think it's the slippery slope of like, everyone gets very addicted to their grant money and then hires people and then we're left with people and then we
That's
end up
right.
this is like a vicious circle.
Yeah.
But to your point, we should look first.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're also self-insured for layoffs, so we're gonna have to pay unemployment.
Unemployment benefits, yeah.
That's correct.
Liz, is your hand up?
I spoke my part.
Thank you. Anyone else?
We do still have more budgets to go through though.
Yeah.
No, understood. A lot more.
Mhm.
So,
I can amend my motion then, I guess.
well, yeah, we can amend the motion.
Yeah, so I'll amend it, not take the 90 out. I move the sum of $1,208,338.19 from tax rate for the purposes of human services.
Second,
Second.
any other discussion on the amended motion? Joe?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. They're voting already.
Hand down. So the motion before you is for total budget for human services of $1,208,338.19.
We cut so much.
All those in favor?
You won if we only take it. I know, still
Anyone opposed?
not opposed. I didn't say yes.
I'm opposed.
Dan is opposed. Anyone else opposed? Okay, all in favor.
revisit.
Now,
We may have to revisit that.
He's opposed because he wants the 90.
He wants the 90 out.
well, he's opposed because we voted on it and that's his decision.
Yeah.
Next budget.
Next one is Public Works. I move the sum of $8,512,600 from Public Works with tax levy in the amount of $8,405,600
Sorry.
from tax levy and $107,000 from available funds.
Sorry, D.
Sorry,
I was just
you're
gonna.
gonna cut some before I even talk?
Talk a little bit about Public Works. I think that.
Well, that's you.
A vacant position that we can leave open for an approximate savings of 30,000.
That they can table it or they can hire it later.
Vacant hire it probably around snow time. That would be the.
Well, that'll be in a week or two, the way things are going.
So another half year deferral approximately?
Another half year deferral, correct?
30,000.
Yep. have we?
How much?
Yeah,
30,000.
All right. I amend my motion to move.
Stand by.
Wait a minute, I think we're still, we're doing.
Any cut some more?
We didn't second it, so discussion,
Oh,
that,
there's no motion.
not yet.
There's no motion for that yet. I'll amend the motion if we want to do the cut.
well, we've been discussing things on both sides of the motion, but go ahead. Tighten me up.
All right. The new number would be $8,482,600 for the purpose of public works with 375,600 from tax levy and 107,000 from available funds.
Is there a second?
Do we sense you have any other low-lying fruit that you would like to?
Dennis, did you have a question that I deferred you on a minute ago?
Well, my question is in water and sewer, because with, Fitzy retiring, is that number gonna go down in the, rehire?
Dennis, it will.
Yes.
We're just about to start that process. I don't have that number right now, but that will drop presumably, and then whatever the difference is would roll over into the enterprise's retained earnings again.
So this is, the enterprise funds is gonna help us.
From the tax levy.
Yeah, it won't help, but I'm just saying the enterprise number is gonna change too.
Yes.
So I know DPW has an overtime line. Is it possible to reduce that by 50K? We just cut something that we do, so either street sweeping or. And I was looking at the budgets for the past 2 years. I think we've level set it for the past number of years. Back in 25, it was about 200K. Last year, I think it was around 300K. I think we set it at 300K. But is there a risk of us reducing overtime? And if we reduced it, I'd just have to figure out whatever services equal that number and remove them. During the day. What that is, they know sitting here. Or relate to something, what that is. We get folks together.
Are you saying he's been consistently coming under his appropriation?
No, not consistent, but there has been dips in prior years. Where we've appropriated and he's fallen under.
And the good news is we got snow reimbursement from the state, did we?
I have not heard anything that's come to Wakefield related to that. I am patiently waiting to see if we get any.
Ongoing.
But I don't think we'll know that until after the fiscal year.
But I thought the supplemental appropriation that they did in the state covered the additional snow funding for
There
the,
is supplemental work for some of the chapter 90 road work that happens. And I know that there was some snow money. I've heard that any of it's coming to Wakefield. I think there's more. Pick up the really nasty stuff, the two big ones that we got this year.
Any other discussion of public works? Yes.
Jim?
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, Christian had his hand up.
Joe, on the overtime, is that included in snow and ice, or is snow and ice like?
No, so anything that's a snow and ice effort comes out of that appropriation.
When ice would go,
It goes into that line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dan,
So, I heard something about $30,000, and one of the things I need to do is understand, for the example, the accounting, the police, and so forth. I'm writing down a half year's deferral, and that's the savings, because in 28, it'll be a full amount. So in moving forward, I need to understand the reason for that particular cut. So what's the story with the 30,000? I didn't catch that.
Dan, this is Joe. So that's just in parks and forestry and vacancy. So similar to the chief's approach, we could wait and not look to fill that seat until we get closer to the winter when we'll be looking for a driver.
Okay, so it's
Delay that.
yeah, okay, so it's $30,000 for a half year's delay. Got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
any other discussion? DPW, Public Works. Joe, what's the number?
Well,
Hold on, Joe.
It was 30,000 for the labor position.
8,482,600.
1 second. Joe?
So.
It's two Joes, my bad.
I thought you
Joe and Joe.
Joe. I'm Joe.
talking of the older one or the younger one.
Joe Bertrand, stand down one second.
I like that you're being efficient though.
I'm doing a little math as we sit here, but where we don't have any anticipated bodies moving into the space temporarily to herd school, one option that we do have come May, when we shut the heat off, we can plan to not turn the heat back on. And that should reduce the electricity and natural gas line by about $20,000 for the year in buildings purchases services. So if the town's comfortable with, I would keep the electricity on just because there's some outside lights and interior things. But we would essentially drain the building from October and it'll be full from October until April. We wouldn't fire the water.
So you'd have to winterize it.
Exactly. Yep.
How much was that, Joe?
20.
20.
Unless there's a plan for staff to go there that I don't know.
Yeah, and again, that's not up to this body, but understood. Thoughts on that, anyone?
Does it cost you anything to go through that winterization process?
No, our staff would do it. So
Okay.
we just drain everything out.
You just
Give us time, so nothing freezes up.
get the water out of the pipes.
So,
Edit amendment number to $8,462,600 with, well, no, I really don't know how much in there. It's $8,365,600 from tax levy and $107,000 from available funds.
second on that amendment.
What's the net?
What's the new number, Joe, again?
$8,462,600.
The net is less 50, didn't, right?
40,
40.
20 and 20.
Well,
No, it's
30 and 20.
30 and
It's 30.
30 for the position, 20 for the bird.
Oh, okay.
Does math work still?
Yeah, not really.
The net is 50.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the number I said. 462.
Is there a second on the modified amendment?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Motion before you then for the Public Works is a appropriation of $8,462,600 with $107,000 coming from available funds. Tax levy of, I don't know,
21.
$8,355,600.
Good man.
All those in favor?
I,
Anyone opposed? No one opposed. Motion carries. Thank you all for the effort. Next.
Move the sum of $17,863,041 from the water and sewer receipts.
Second.
Discussion on the water and sewer enterprise funds. Seeing none, the motion before you is for the water and sewer enterprise funds, $17,863,041 to come from the water sewer receipts, water receipts of $8,109,043 and the sewer receipts $9,753,000 and $9,958.
21, so we're at
All those in favor?
I,
570.
Is there anyone opposed?
Aye.
Water and sewer. Next,
We're
21.
221,
Yep.
350.
public schools.
Schools.
Do we know where we are with the reductions?
Yeah, are we doing it?
Minus
We-
221 for the, are you talking about just the 300?
The general government is 221,000 we've cut. If we go to 350 from the article, right?
well, we haven't
Right.
got the articles yet.
I know we haven't.
It was three groups of 300. We're at 221 so far.
Right, and the 350,
I
it's
got, no, I
350 the
got,
article, right?
Well, I think what you're just assessing.
We're just trying to get to the 300 number,
Yeah,
right?
so we're trying to get to 300.
We're not there yet.
I have
221.
I have 210.
We
I
have
have 210.
done the insurances.
I have 15,
And-
75,
Ellie agrees with Dan.
5,
Yep.
45,
210.
46.
46, yep,
Yep. The 20 from
Yep.
veterans,
yep.
30 from Public Works, and 20 from winterizing the school.
School, did I add one? That's possible. You had Excel there, so we just moved them.
210.
Ellie has 210, so I have to write it on.
So out of the 210, I have 150,000 in salaries. Is that
75, 46,
Yep.
30.
I have 100.
46 or 45? 46?
Yeah,
I think they
we did 45.
have 45.
Oh, did we do 45?
I think it was 45
So
we
left by
did.
one.
I have,
So,
for salaries, I have 150.
so if we did benefits on that, is benefits 20% or is it more?
More.
Yeah, it's like 40,
No,
Yeah, close to 35 or 40.
Third,
Oh, this is 30.
35.
I'd say 35 to be conservative.
45K.
A little bit extra.
We're 210 plus the benefits, with the savings.
So that's 52,500 in benefits.
Right, something.
We're at
So we're
250.
262,
I got 250.25.
Me too.
52?
Well, if we were at 210 and we've got 52,000.
It's 262, Dan.
62.
262? You said 150?
262.
What's the personal services of 150 or 160?
150.
150.
150, 1.35 is 202 plus 60, 262. That's what I said, isn't it?
Yeah, 262.5 is what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that main.
Okay. As
So we're at 262.
Doug Butler would call it, that's bug dust. Might consider moving on.
But I was gonna say, should we look at increasing the school to like 350 in general government 250?
Here?
Balance it out that way.
Open for discussion.
500,000 from schools.
Objection to me.
Well, the way you
Dan's
turn,
number there, yeah.
is there any other article money that we can look at? We got a bunch of articles. Is there anything else besides?
Can we look at articles, Liz? Do you have that handy just to scroll through to make sure, as a team, we're there? That's a good idea.
I mean, for the round off numbers, we may be able to take it out of something in there. It's not gonna hurt, you think?
Oh, God. Thank you. Can't read it. That's okay.
Joe, is there anything in there that we can take any money out of?
I mean, I got Joe's list here. I mean, we have the INR borrowing, you got non-borrowing, you got the you got the trash, we got the retaining wall we talked about. We've got the parking lot stuff we talked about. Is a capital needs assessment for 150,000. Drainage easement repair. That was drainage easement repair tax levy?
Those are just a couple of easements, so there'll be some work to do some,
Yeah,
but that would be $1 if anything.
I think that was the list. And
We
again, I
got
just-
Greenwood School feasibility.
Yeah, but that wasn't, was that in Joe's list? I happen to have
No.
DPW list. I'm going back to the full list now. I get it.
No, that was a separate top warrant article.
I know. Sorry, thank you. I just had Joe's list handy, so. Scroll down a little more. Greenwood feasibility. Okay. All right.
Someone remind me what the Greenwood feasibility is for.
A future rebuild of the school assessment.
Which will meeting ADA requirements, and heating, HVAC.
Yeah.
Upgrades.
It's the first step in the MSBA process, right?
Yeah. And essentially, if you look at what the high school, it took us 10 years to get to where we are right now. Because it was 10 years ago when I put in the first request for,
Right.
I think
Money.
Green would have cost 500 million.
But again, the Greenwood is
Yeah.
for heading towards the SBA, not trying to fix something that's
Right.
broken today. Is that right?
Right.
You're on,
Yes, MSBA, yeah.
okay. Not to assess and fix something that's broken now.
No, it's
Okay,
evaluation.
that's in capital, right?
Same with townwide building space and capital assessment. Sorry, I think I just overtalked.
No.
Evan, do you want to go ahead?
No, please, Lori.
Yeah, so that was 150, that was discussed,
My apologies.
no, you weren't here, but Liz, or, Dee, that was, recommended by, town council, or are you folks to review stuff, not putting words in your mouth?
I'm sorry, the building.
The building assessment.
50.
Yeah, so that's to look at all the different town buildings, those that have employees in them and those that are vacant. Do we need all these buildings? Like the herd, Joe just talked about spending $20,000 to keep a building that's basically used by the Friends for their books, for the book sale. The Albion, the Cultural Exchange Building, we've got the Civic Center. So just taking a look at how we're using our buildings and can there be a better way? And is it time to look at maybe selling?
Is that a consultant's fee or a firm
Yes.
we use? And so we already put that out to bidding. That's the,
We have not, that's an estimate.
okay.
We base that estimate off of very similar scopes.
Mhm.
So that's.
Joe, how do you feel about that? Like what, not feel, but like how useful do you feel like that will be to you and?
Oh, well, one or two things. So they will identify efficiencies, and efficiencies will relate to utility bills, which will ultimately save money. So from that perspective, we carry a lot of the utility bills for town. That. And the other thing that would be nice to learn too is it'll give us a fresh set of eyes and perspective. So we'll identify some capital things along the way through that process too. That all.
Yes, we say fund that for 100.
So we a tool
I
that.
think one of the buildings we know is way down on the list, like the Civic Center.
Made from the.
So that's already been upgraded for heating and shit. And you say, all the other things, use 100, and now we gain 50. We can get the other 50 next year.
Joe,
So we've got, with Don's number of the benefits, 262, correct?
right, yes,
And the article, this article is 350,
yes.
isn't that enough? And 300 from the school, that meets what you were looking for?
We're still.
Again, it puts you right in the church, but not the right pew, as my father would say, but you're
We're
right
praying for anything, buddy.
there.
Back to the townwide buildings.
Ask a Catholic how to get somewhere. They say, go past St. Joe's.
Hey,
St. Elizabeth's, and then you take the first right after St. E's. But anyway, that was an earlier life.
When we get to the townwide building space and needs capital assessment, Joe, is that something you brought to the table, something the town council brought to the table?
no,
Collaboratively.
it was,
Capital planning committee.
they came to the Capitol with.
Okay.
And we were,
Realistic, we may have presented it and spoke to it, but is.
they wanted to fund it through the Capitol and we recommended it be a warrant article.
Yeah.
Because all studies like that are always warrant articles.
Agreed.
So anyway, we took a look at the articles just to see if there was any other low-hanging fruit. Can we go back to the budgets? Is everybody comfortable enough for right now to go back?
Okay, just ask Joe. Joe, is there any building that is in that 150 that may be able to come out this year? And I'm just saying, like the Civic Center that's been recently upgraded, and we know we're not ultimately gonna get rid of it. So why include it in the study at this point?
Yeah, the question is, what's the savings if you do that, right? Which,
Yeah,
Not minimal.
So.
Yeah, there's a
One
lot.
of the rentals was to go out, we would already have identified. Department XYZ to operate efficiently requires so many square feet. The two of them match, it might make sense. You have people ducked into closets and, in buildings that are kind of all over the place. Or concentrated among in there, things like that. That's where they would identify that, based on what the departments are sizing it now, what it typically is, what your square footage is per FTE. And then against the building square footage and then find the efficiency through, comparing the processes.
Yep.
And that includes the building next door that we started using fully.
Over there?
Yeah, all of those.
Is there, from the capital planning committee, is there anything in the capital that, could come out while we're talking about articles? I have the list, but.
Yeah, is there 100,000 or something that we can find in there?
You could not replace the windows in the town hall. That's 50.
How much is the van that the school asked for? It was 60,000.
Yeah, that was 100.
I mean, I don't want to speak for Joe, but I would rather do something with the study than not do the windows in town hall.
So you're gonna ask you that, how far,
We could delay it, delay the study until January. There's your 50
Yeah.
right there, or 75 actually.
Is it possible to stage it so that 75 comes in?
We most
75 this year, 75 next year.
share 75 next year. Yep,
A
absolutely.
year-long scope though?
Not a year.
I just don't want to get too cute with like, right.
I think it depends. If you were gonna reduce it like that, you'd probably identify a specific set of jokes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, so, some
Fair.
of the things that may, from at least the town's perspective, offer potential to be more advantageous than not. Start with those
Yeah.
and see, go from there, and then whether you give an ad all for phase two, you can hit, the other one places.
I think on that one, you either do it or don't.
Yeah.
In this fiscal year. I don't want to get cute about like,
Yeah.
we bill for half of it in this fiscal year and bill for half of it next fiscal year. That's getting a little too.
And we could delay it as well. This is not like we have an urgent need to offload any. If that's the recommendation, I would rather see that than the town hall windows because I'm dying in my office
I only say.
on a daily basis.
Looking at the numbers.
Well, no, I'm looking at,
Utilities are gonna.
I'm looking at the T1 versus T2.
Yeah.
And that was one of the largest ones in the
No,
tier two
I'm
category.
just teasing you, I understand.
So if, all right, so anything else in capital? I mean, I know, all right, I mean, I know the schools asked for a van because they're moving food around or something, but they've been doing without it, and I think they could continue to do without it, but I don't know if that's gonna help overall or not, but it's 100,000 or something to that effect.
The list here. Actually, let me see if I have it in my email from.
Still doing the 350 out for the art. For the
It was
parking?
100,000.
I don't think that was, I think it was more.
Last one was
It's an activity bus.
That's an activity bus and it had to do a lot with the fact that there was no track and things like that.
Okay, never mind. Let's go back to where we were.
Okay.
So we looked at the articles and we're still talking about taking 350 out for the parking lots and sort of reallocating that. We'll get back to that. So if we go back to the budgets, we're on the school budget, I believe.
School, we just want to make a general 300 cut, right? Because
You want 300? I move the sum of $58,416,611 with $58,571,611 from tax levy and $115,000 from available funds for the purposes of the school department.
You just revisit that number from the tax levy, so.
Did I say 58,571,611? We're taking 30,000, 30. I'm sorry.
There it is.
Got it? Yeah, sorry.
Just repeat for me, thank you.
It's $58,301,611 from the tax levy.
Is there a second?
I still want 500,000.
I'm waiting for a second.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion. Dan,
I
is your
want-
hand up?
I want 500,000.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'm with Dan.
No, God, please, I'm asking if you have
Yes.
discussions.
So, all right, so let me raise my hand. All right.
No, I knew it was up.
You recognize.
Go ahead.
All right, so the reason I'm looking at 500,000 is I'm thinking this as being a bargaining position at town meeting. We asked for 500,000 and we settle on 300,000.
How are you gonna how are you gonna do that, Dan?
That's fair.
At the town meeting?
No, that's fair. I mean,
I would never put my hand of cards out on the table like that.
assuming people watch us.
Nobody watches us.
Oh, watch us after the fact.
Well, we run and run and run.
How is it, I mean, from a logistics point of town meeting, I don't know how you would be able to do that.
Why not?
You would have to have several votes on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they vote no and you go back up with a new one.
Yeah.
It's just an amendment, trying to make another amendment.
You start with the most and go down, is that how it goes?
That's what it was just described, yeah.
So there's a way it has to be done.
It's just procedural. Yeah.
Yeah, so the way it has to be done is start with the lowest to the highest.
So what's gonna happen though is the highest number is gonna get voted on,
Right, and then that's it.
and then that's it.
You're right. That's
right.
right. I forgot about it. That's a very funky rule in our town meeting.
The highest number
Bylaws, I
goes
think.
first, as I recall.
Yeah, the highest gotta go first.
Highest
And that
appropriation
means
number.
it's gonna be approved
Well, I don't know. I mean,
if they bring out the forces.
So they're gonna go to Jim and say, what's the finance committee recommendation? Jim's gonna say, our recommendation is a lower number.
Yeah.
So you have to vote
You
down.
have to vote
Commit
the higher number
budget to
And
get to
to get to the low.
lower number.
And then after
If they bring out the forces, so
I speak, it gets open.
the cutting 500,000 almost doesn't matter.
Yeah, you have to
We cut.
pick a number first.
The amendment, it goes forward. I tell them what we're doing, then there's discussion. And then there's a potential effort to amend the motion that was put forth for the larger number.
Right.
Based on our feedback, the dialogue that takes place at town meeting. I think. Dan, does that sound about right to you too?
So the process would be that Doug will make the motion for the higher number at 58.7.
Right.
And Jim would come in and say, we recommend a lower figure, whatever we end up deciding. And then there's going to be someone that have to get up there and ask for an amendment to match our number, or a third number would have to come from the floor. And then there's a discussion, and the first vote would be, if I remember properly, would be on the amendment to a lower number. And if that fails,
Be on the higher amount.
then you vote on the higher amount because the amendment failed.
I think so.
Evan,
So
That's-
I'll skip
that's
over the
the
procedural
process.
stuff because we can figure it out later. But Dan, ordinarily you're right, except I think Dawn and Joe are correct that there's a very unique passage in, I think it's our town meeting rules of procedure in our bylaws somewhere where the higher amount sort of supersedes like standard
Right.
parliamentary procedure, and they actually vote on the higher number first. I will
No,
just say,
no,
on-
I disagree. I think what you're thinking of is, let's assume that our lower number, if we come with a lower number and it wins, and then somebody has an amendment to that and they try to raise it, and then if that passes, then obviously it's a higher number. But if the first vote, let's say somebody amends it and this only subtracts 200,000, and that gets voted on first, then our motion would have to say we would fail. So it's a little weird, but yeah, it's a weird process.
But you're suggesting, Dan, that we not make a recommendation, but that we make a motion.
No,
so I think we should figure out. I think
It's
we should
both.
figure out the.
Don, it's both. Because remember, what Jim's going to do is recommend a lower number at town meeting, but the motion from Doug has already been placed. It's already been seconded. So somebody has, some from finance committee has to get up there, or somebody else that says, I recommend an amendment to the 58,716,000 that Doug just has on the floor to the FinCom number. And if that gets seconded, then you have to vote on the amendment to the motion first. If that wins, then you're done. If it fails, then you go back to the original motion that Doug made, and there's a vote on that.
Sorry.
That'd be
Phone number first.
for
I
all-
would say, Mr. Chairman,
All of them. will be
all
done
of
now.
it,
why
right?
don't we figure out the procedure later? We'll let council rule on that at town meeting. But in terms of the numbers, Dan, here's why I, in concept, agree with you on the numbers here. We just found, what was it, 120 grand out of a $4.5 million budget in general government? It's got to be easy to find 500 grand out of a $58 million budget. It's just a much bigger chunk. It's a totally reasonable ask, and I think it makes a big difference for us closing our gap here. So I think it's totally fair to ask them for 500 grand. It's like you just
and
watched it happen here.
And remember, they prepay over 400,000 on their sped that they don't need to do.
By trying to get that through.
I don't know that
From
that's a
the-
fair statement that they don't need to do.
Well, on
Uh,
the prepay, I'm talking about the
They
prepay.
chose to do instead of giving it back.
They pay for the summer though.
if they don't prepay it, they gotta pay it next year
Yeah.
with some money.
Motion, well, did he do
Which,
that?
So
which they
it's-
get July. They get July 1st, they got the money.
We didn't even do the motion yet, right?
Again, if they prepay it, it's
It's o-
already paid for. You're
It's a lot of-
And it's already in their budget.
yeah.
So they're already getting it twice.
No, they've already accounted for it. Like the flow is already flowing, I believe, when we talked about this at the subcommittee. But
Right.
in any event,
It's a one-time gain because then they have to pay it thereafter. And it's something that Kevin Gill complained about for years of that practice. He was very vociferous about his unknown to the school department for prepaying sped.
mhm. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Anyone else? So the motion before us is for a reduction of 300,000
Right, and
discussion.
I'll move to amend that motion to make it 500,000, just to see if people want to vote on it.
Second.
And you can thank me later, Dan.
I'll buy you a beer.
Any discussion on this
Write that down.
motion before you? I am more comfortable with the 300,000. I believe the 300,000 is in the spirit of the discussion. I fully understand going to town meeting floor. It can go any number of ways. That's my opinion. Anyone else have a hand up?
Agree with you.
I agree with you too.
I also agree.
Great.
Anyone else? Eddie, you got your hand up?
I agree with you, Jim.
Okay. Any other discussion? Dennis?
No, I agree. I think we should be 1/3 all the way across the board. Yeah, my numbers.
So the motion before you then is to reduce this budget by 500,000. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
I,
We got 1, 2, Dan is 3. Are there any other in favor? All those opposed?
You look for the 500,000?
Yes,
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed.
you're in favor,
Favor.
Jim. Yeah, so there's 4 in favor. Is there anyone else in favor of the 500? Those opposed?
O's.
The motion fails. We have a new motion on the school budget.
Go to the old motion for the 300,000.
We automatically go to the old motion for 300,000. Now, is there discussion on the previous motion of 300,000?
And it's, the numbers should show, yeah, it should. There it is.
Any discussion on the motion before you to reduce school budget by 300,000? No hands up? All those in favor of the school budget being 58,301,611
301,
with $115,000 coming from transportation funds? All those in favor?
I,
Is there anyone opposed? Unanimous. Thank you.
I move the sum of $2,147,295 with $2,093,217 from tax levy, $54,078 from available funds for the purposes of the library.
second.
Discussion. Dan, is your hand up still?
Nope. Oh, sorry.
No problem. Motion before you is for the library budget of $2,147,295 with 54,078 coming from the library trust fund. And $2,093,217,000 and $217,000 from tax levy. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Excellent. Cooking with gas now.
I move the sum of $3,097,071 for the purposes of the vocational school.
Second.
Discussion.
Tax levy.
Yeah, from tax levy.
Yep. In the increase, we took.
Is is included in this, any assessment, the assessment from the new?
Yeah, so there was a large assessment either last year or a part of it coming again this year, I think.
Increased enrollment and yes, the Aggie schools in there.
Yeah, but he's asking about the new building.
My man, the new building.
We had voted a long time ago. We voted several years ago to appropriate that, or to agree to that. So I don't know if it's in this year's, but
I was wondering if that's
It is.
in there.
thank you, Liz.
It is.
Okay.
I thought so. It was a large increase,
Right.
primarily due to that.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a large increase in 25
I think
and
they're gonna be done in
as
September.
well. So we've had
Yep.
two big, in
Don't think they
25, we had an increase of almost 14%, and this year it's 16% because of the new new school.
And then that's our run rate now, I think, pretty close.
Yeah.
We should deduct it, but I don't think wanna
Any other discussion?
pay for the road. We're making us pay for it.
Motion before you is vocational schools for the tax levy in the sum of $3,097,071. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? Excellent. What is left?
Miscellaneous.
Yeah, is there a total on the bottom, Liz? Can you scroll down a little if you?
Is this where we put in the benefits? In this section here?
Down, yeah.
So
it's
we're
coming
down
up.
to unclassified right now. Streetlights, historical, general insurance.
How much was it? 55, 50,
52,500.
52,500. Oh, boy.
Are we saying we're gonna reduce group insurance by 52,000?
52,500.
So we're not
Wait a
there
sec-
yet. We're doing
No, we're not there
unclassified.
yet. We got
Okay.
unclassified.
All right. I move the sum of $2,874,350.13 with $2,409,350.13 from tax levy and $465,000 from available funds.
Second.
Discussion. So the motion, yes, Dan.
Just an FYI, we're leaving reserve fund at 400,000. We talked about having that as a certain percentage of the budget. It's been 400,000 for a while. Fortunately, we haven't had to spend all of it recently, but I suspect that 400,000 will have to increase in the future. But for 27, it's fine.
Thank you.
Was it always 400, Dan, or did?
No, it's 350.
Yeah.
Used to, it
350.
went back to 300 for a while.
There was actually, Dan, I remember 250.
Oh, 250. Oh, wow, going way back.
Well, I do go way back. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for reminding me.
I was just thinking it too. I didn't say it.
No, we're done this story.
So it would be possible to say 375 and not cause any pain.
I
Theoretically, yes.
theoretically, but
Yeah.
you really want to, stuff happens.
Okay.
That's one time we had
Not a big number when we need to use it.
yeah, it's
It's really not.
Okay.
I mean, the thing in Greenwood where the pipes, things,
Green Street.
yeah, things go, stuff happens, even though that's not the first word that's usually used.
How much did we use in 2026?
Yeah, 'cause we're self-insured.
We just did a reserve fund transfer.
Just did a
this evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just did 93,000.
You just did 93, and we're gonna do some at the end of in June, the end of June.
Anybody else on that in discussion?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay,
We will be spending some at the end of June, so.
Mm-hmm.
there you go.
We always do.
Thank you, Liz. So the motion before you for unclassifieds,
It went away.
I know Liz is working on it. Total unclassifieds is $2,874,350.13, with $2,409,350.13 from tax levy and $465,000 from the cable TV fees. All those in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Benefits administration. So
We're taking 52,500 from 22,546,476 with 52,500 taken from 22,546,476 from tax levy. And I can't do the math right now.
Well, Liz, we're talking,
Like-
I think it's group health insurance. Is that right, Don?
Yes,
Would be removing
52,500,
52,500
correct.
from that line item, and that would be from the total.
I'm confused. What's the,
Don't be, too late
what's
to
the,
be.
what's the 52.5? I thought we were going to subtract 2 million.
That's the benefits of the salary, so we.
2 million. So this was for the earlier reductions in all the budgets. Don and Ellie were tallying it to come up with the benefits, and those benefits came out to 52.5 that they were
Okay,
going to take off the group health insurance.
got it. So, but now OPEB is in this, is it not?
Yes, I guess if it was not previously accounted for, that's a very good point. Yes.
So instead of 52.5, you need 2,052.5.
Thank you.
Good call.
So we'll be removing 2 million.
So it's I moved the sum of $20,493,976 and it went blank.
Liz, you got
Can I- hold
something
on,
on the
I-
mechanics?
Tax levy.
Hold on, Liz.
I need clarification.
Thank
So
you.
the 2 million, we are doing a transfer from the OPEB trust fund into the group health insurance budget to pay a portion of retiree health insurance.
So what that's a very valid point. So first of all, we were going to fund it by 500 and we changed that. We're only going to take out 1.5, Dan, not 2. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, well, no, reducing the, remember right now, I think the group health includes 500,000 for OPEB contribution is part of the group health amount.
So
Somebody
Liz, do you
pull
want to add on to that?
But the
Somebody-
1.5 is a transfer, it's not an expense.
So that wasn't my question. If we're
Thank you.
talking 2 million, part of it is not making the contribution of 500,000 to OPEB. And then are we paying 1.5 million for retiree health insurance?
Correct.
Yes.
So the mechanics is a good question. You'd have to go to the Prim and ask.
I know,
Yeah.
I
it's
know
like-
how to do that.
Yeah,
That's not
so-
a problem.
All right, so so in terms of the budget, do we leave 1.5 million in this and then say 1.5 from available funds? Is that how we
Yes,
do it?
yes,
Okay, so
that's the mechanics.
yeah, for tax levy purposes, it's a reduction of 2 million.
Brain went blank.
Great catch, Liz.
All right, and also keep in mind the 500 also includes money from water and sewer. So we just zeroing that out?
Oh, good point.
Mhm.
Can somebody pull the,
I can go back. It's only 13.2 from each one.
I was
So
gonna-
a total of 26.4 from water and sewer.
Ed, I think you're muted. Are you talking? Nope, sorry. Thought you were going to talk.
Yawning. Like the rest of us.
So where are we?
that's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay. So close.
End of the second period in the Browns.
Is it?
1-1.
Four text messages.
Okay, so I will make those and I will be right back to you in a moment.
Thank you. You gonna say?
We're done with public safety, right? So my staff can.
Oh, please, yeah, that's a very good point.
Unless you'd like to stay with us.
Fire chief could stay if he'd like. Articles. We have articles, but I think we're where we are.
Yeah,
Go, William,
Oh, no,
did you say that? Who said articles?
I'm just seeing if you wanted me for the articles.
I'm fine taking care of it as discussed.
yeah. I think we're done those things. We're only trying to get to our round off now.
I'm fine with those guys leaving unless others have an
Yeah.
opinion. Sorry to put you on the spot.
yeah, get out of here.
Second year. Joe.
Thank you for the effort and contributions.
Thank you.
All of you. Appreciate the teamwork.
Have a good night.
So the enterprise accounts was 26,400. Uh,
26 text messages. When I give my kids the tickets, they text me.
No.
so Liz, if it's
Just a
only
big thank
26,
you.
if it's only 26,000 on OPEB out of the 500,000, do we want to leave the 26,000 alone and just take it all out of tax levy? Or you want to keep proportioning it?
Well, that's fine. That would work. That's simple for tonight.
Yeah, we semantics, we
Bug dusters, one of the town councils would say.
yeah, take it all in tax levy for now and be done with it. That's the round off for the other portion that we couldn't get to.
Okay.
Yeah, out of the general government we were short, so that'll make up the difference.
Like a factor of safety with engineering, right? We get close and then we just add in the factor of safety.
Well, we're only trying to get to 1,000,000 close anyway.
So I know Liz is putting things back in order, so we'll just wait a minute.
Between computers.
Struggle.
We still have the articles to do. Anybody feel like another meeting?
Yeah. So Liz, do you need the 1.5 in available funds there?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
I think I might have been talking to myself for a minute.
Sorry.
Right, we've been doing it for years.
Okay, so we started with 14,725,364 for group health insurance. We are taking out 52.5 all from there.
Yes.
Okay, and then 1.5. And that's it. Right?
From where though?
From where?
So the new
0.5.
From group health.
So,
Wouldn't it be
so
available?
does the 1.5 go in column D? Available?
Done this?
No. So I'm just at like that's what we're doing, right?
Yes. Yes,
Correct.
that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
Those two numbers.
we're not worried about the 22, just
We're not worrying about the enterprise.
Even though the 1.5 comes from elsewhere, this is how we. This.
I don't think that's right. Shouldn't it be minus 500,000, not 150?
Be minus 550,
5. Yep. Here we go.
552. 552.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
from this account, yeah.
And that'll be 1.5 million.
No, shouldn't this be 1 million?
This is from available funds. It's to be 1,500,000.
In the earlier forecast, we were using 1,500,000. The delta was
Okay.
2,000,000. The use, this is the OPEB use was 1.5.
Right.
Does that make sense to you, Liz?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we have the new number for group health insurance. We have.
Getting there.
We have to take it
No,
out. We would take it out of the tax levy, right?
hold
And
on.
add in from available funds,
Yeah, that would make sense.
right?
It's the same bottom line,
It's the same
right?
bottom line.
Yeah, you're. adding
Correct.
up-
1.5 million.
Counting on the fly.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's that minus.
So this is the new number, but of the 21, 1.5 is available funds.
All right, so I move the sum of $21,993,976 with $21,993,976 in tax levy and 1.5 million from available funds for benefits and administration.
Still feels off.
Correct.
I think figure it out later.
No,
If
no,
you got it.
right?
I gotta, no, we gotta get it right because I
Right.
gotta vote on it. I gotta sign off on it and
Okay, what's the matter? Let's start over.
nothing. Christian's just thinking it through.
Well, yeah, if you're adding 1.5 million from available funds, doesn't mean we have to take 1.5 million out of
The tax
the
levy.
tax levy.
That's what I was
Because
trying to do.
Yeah, the total number should still equal the 14,725 right now. It's just,
No, the total number shouldn't be 14,725. It should be minus 5.
500.
right,
So you want 14,225,
right. So that,
365. Oh, 364, sorry.
yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that 14,172, that's your all-in number.
Mm-hmm.
1.5 of that is coming from available funds. So that means we have to
Correct.
take 1.5 million out of the tax levy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'd just be adding.
1.5 to the 14.
1.5 from column C and
Right.
throw it in column
Because
D,
that's how we balance the.
Right.
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
so 13.
That's where I was
225.
headed down that road.
Yeah, you were right.
13,225,
Is that much?
isn't it?
Huh?
Oh,
Sorry, we're
No.
putting her through like a live interview. It's gotta be
No.
brutal.
Right. What was this?
And there's a
number? I have
delay.
to write this down.
Yeah.
And then you're going down the path. Yep.
So tax levy.
you ended at 725, there, aren't we just taking 1.5 from that?
And 52.5.
14,
And then you move it into column D.
and then you put 15, 1.5 in the middle.
Tax levy should be. Well, we want to start. We're doing different recommendations.
Is this your far right column right there, the 14? Yeah.
So this is our new budget number. Without 1.5 being funded by OPEB.
Right, so if you do column D, 1.5, and then column E becomes C minus D. There,
Yeah,
no,
that's-
minus sign.
No,
It's column D.
no, it's C plus D
Yeah.
equals E.
Yeah.
That's
No?
it, that's a tax levy.
Yeah, but that's not what column E is.
What's, yeah.
Right, we have to have a whole total. We have to have
But
a
what's-
grand total.
What's the?
Right,
I
so
know,
my
I can't even
formula
see
was
the
right.
top. What, can
Yeah.
you just say what the left-hand column is?
What's
Tax
See what's
Tax levy.
tax levy?
So that's tax levy, right?
C is available funds.
Yep.
E is C plus D.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Evan.
So that first column still needs to have a negative 1.5 in your equation for it to
No.
be tax levy.
Because then it has to be the, right.
Okay.
I agree with.
Wait, so the original budget was 14,725, 364. We took out 500 contribution. 52,
We still,
500. Go ahead, Liz.
go ahead.
And okay, so that's 14,172, 864. right? That's the total that we're spending. So that should be in column E, right?
I agree with this. Yes.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
then
You're trying to
so
end
the
it.
tax levy would be 12,672,864.
That's right.
Yes.
D would be 1.5 for the total of 14,172,864.
Is
In this
E
scenario
tax
right here-
levy?
The 12,6.
No.
The
The other way
12,
around.
the 12 goes in column C and the 14 goes over to column E.
You
Oh,
got it
E-
right the first time, Liz.
Yeah, E is the grand total.
Yes.
Okay, so that should be
That should be-
17,713 minus 52,500.
No.
No.
Okay.
Can Liz and Ellie talk, please?
Yes.
Ellie, go ahead.
All right, so the original budget was 14,725,364, right? Then we're
Tax levy.
taking out 500 and then 52,500. And then
Correct.
1.5 out of that column.
So we have the original budget that was tax levy portion. Then
Yeah,
we took out the 500 because we're not contributing to OPEB. We took out the 52.5 for the benefit costs for half year of non-filling positions. So then we need to take 1.5 from here.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is our
Yeah.
tax levy piece.
Yes.
And then we
Yeah.
have the available funds, and we have to have the whole amount appropriated.
Right, yes.
There we
Yes.
go.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Nice. There we go.
Nicely done, ladies. Glad you have
I
excited.
move the sum of $21,993,976 with $12,672,864 from tax levy and $1.5 million from available funds.
Second. Any discussion? No.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yes.
Dan.
So what about,
It's late.
in that budget is transfers from the light department, water, sewer and school?
That's never handled that way.
It hasn't?
Nope. It's,
All right.
I went back and looked years, and that number for health insurance or group insurance for the municipal gas and light department is included in the total here in the next line. And water and sewer carry their amount for benefit.
In their budget.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Any further discussion on benefits and admin? Motion before you then, the total benefits and admin is $21,993,976 with
1.5.
$20,493,976 coming from tax levy and $1.5 million coming from available funds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Last budget, benefits for, Liz, you got something else to add? Sorry?
No.
3 million something.
No, the screen went away. Sometimes when you're talking, the screen goes away. It was just trying to be consistent.
Move the sum of $3,282,127 from available funds for the MLD benefits.
Second. Discussion. Seeing none, the motion for you for mass MDL benefits is $3,282,127.69 with $3,282,127.69 coming from available funds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Okay. I am opposed to a second meeting and willing to forge ahead. I don't know if anybody else has
We
any.
can do it very quickly. Are there any articles that we are planning to take out? Is it the parking lot we're gonna exclude?
Yeah, but it's not all of it. It's two parts. So, but yes, I can do it quickly.
Well, I'm saying, no, I just mean, I don't mean hurry up, Jim. I mean, I can give you a consolidated.
I mean, hurry up, Jim.
Yeah.
No, I don't, it's not what I mean. I'm saying I can offer you a consolidated motion to get this.
Understood. So let's look at the list. So for tax levy, you've got the capital outlay, the debt service fund, which we don't usually vote on that, or do we?
Yeah, we do.
And you have free cash, and then we keep rolling down. You get the trash,
Eminent domain.
the domain.
in the studies.
And then that column is from free cash, right? All right, I guess I expect that to be in, some of that to be in tax levy, but. So
The supplemental is fire overtime. Historically, that is funded with free cash, as well as the reval warrant articles.
okay. So if you go back to those articles, what we wanted to do was reduce the parking lot article from 350 to 100,000. And remove the retaining wall article from, and take it from 100 to 0. That's what Joe and I discussed. That would leave $100,000 for the parking lot for the Richardson Rail Trail.
Right.
For his effort to try to get matching funds. If he doesn't get the matching funds, the money would be returned. So we're still taking 350 out. It's in two pieces. 100 from the retaining wall, 250 for what was earmarked as Sullivan Park as part of the 350. So the parking lot is 100,000 only. Retaining wall is 0.
Good. That's the new as presented then. Without objection.
Once Liz is comfortable with the math,
Are we just focusing on the wall and the parking lot first?
well, I think we're gonna suggest
Okay.
one motion.
On one?
Yeah.
Well, that's what Evan is suggesting. I think.
I will die on that hill.
I think that's okay. There's a lot of columns to get through. Would you want to make a comment?
I do.
Yes.
I didn't know if we just weren't there yet.
Usually we just,
Comment, go ahead.
The 150 on the assessment, what conclusion did, on the townwide building space needs and capital assessment, did we come to a conclusion? Are we recommending, are we halving, are we, what we did, what was this, what is,
The sidebar discussion ended up leaving it as was.
is that what we came to?
That's what
Well, nothing got proposed to do anything with it, let's put it that way.
he asked about removing a building or two and we went around and came back to the 150, I think.
Yeah, we didn't.
My interpretation was that we were gonna ferret it out here, but
Fine.
that's fine if that's.
No,
what the body
no, I'm not. Anybody else on that? I know, again,
Yeah, the general discussion, we didn't want to carry it half into next year.
that's what it was.
We want to put.
We
either
were getting
keep it-
too cute, I think was the word.
Yeah,
That was my language, yeah.
But seriously, what do you folks think? Is there any more dialogue that we want to have on it?
We want to defer
Question.
entirely for another year.
Liz, just a comment. It looked like you deleted out the Greenwood School feasibility. Feasibility. I just want to make sure that's in there when we. Good catch. Put the numbers in.
yeah, that's for 100, yeah.
I can hear a pin drop, so I don't think anyone else is interested in punting it down for a year. That's fine.
Oh, no,
I didn't know if there was anything, I know it's getting late, but I didn't know if we wanted, so if the too cute method.
Yeah.
Which I'm not necessarily for anyhow.
Yeah, so all or nothing.
It's all or nothing. Anybody have an opinion?
I'm comfortable with what Joe has offered up at this point, but
Okay,
just one person's opinion.
source is free cash, yeah.
do you have an opinion?
it's not gonna change much.
In the interest of showing fiscal responsibility, I'm fine with zeroing that out.
For this year, yeah.
This year.
You gotta do it, but
Does that give you, but additionally, does that give you a year to like get a lay of the land? I mean, how many, how many months have you even been in this position? 6. So you, staffing, buildings.
It's been the longest 6 months of your life.
No, it's been the longest 10 days of my life.
Yeah.
Dealing with the likes of me and others.
Hearing, because I don't want to speak for you, is that you'd be more comfortable doing that next year.
Yes, that's, well, let me put it this way. If we delay it a year, that will allow me to look at staffing. And if we do make changes in staffing, that affects how much office space people need and where they would go. So I think you're right. I should go through that exercise for a year And then that could really instruct the study if we don't need as many people in one department, but we, you know, someone's part-time now where they were full-time. You know, so I think it's a prudent thing to do.
Sold.
So,
So that's a reduction of 450.
Yes, and that makes up the difference to the,
More than makes it up. Yep.
a little over.
Probably gets us to the 10%.
It's this year's free cash, it's next year's free cash,
Yeah,
but it's
but-
okay.
Mm.
We're not really solving the problem there, but
It's okay for you to keep us honest. Thank you for that, Dee. That was very helpful, actually.
it was. Thank you.
So I'll let Liz finish. I'll wait, Liz. Take as much time as you need. Don't want it wrong.
Thank you, Liz.
I move that we approve Articles 2 through 23, as used to be presented, presently presented.
Whatever Liz says.
That's the motion.
We all need a drink by now.
In the spirit of correctness, I disagree. I need to see the columns. I need to see it come across. I need to see it get it on.
Right, but, give me the problem is
She needs to shrink it.
she needs to shrink it,
Liz, can you shrink it so that they can see on
because
the
I can see the
screen
top and the bottom.
the row 3 and the totals?
You can freeze things. You can do all sorts of stuff. Christian, do you have a question?
Well,
Come on, a little higher.
It looks like the,
All right. Oh, no.
Sorry,
Joe, 1 second.
Joe, hold on. Christian, go ahead.
So Liz, it looks like the drainage is in the borrowing. Is that right?
Yeah, it is.
So so that's where we need to take it out from then.
Drainage easement.
Repair or retaining walls, sorry, retaining walls on town-owned properties. That's in column H. So that's the one we're taking out.
Yeah, but that wasn't a borrowing.
Originally was, I think.
Retaining walls for 100,000 was not a borrowing. Retaining a parking lot was not a borrowing.
Right.
There's drainage repairs for Emerson and Cedar Street. That's $1 million borrowing.
Which is not, that is not what we're talking about. Cut.
No, but the 100.
So at one point, the retaining walls was a borrowing.
Sorry, thank you. Did we take it out of a tax levy in this exercise?
Yeah.
No, it was not
was-
under
it
tax
was
levy.
in
It was
free
under
cash.
borrowing. Christian
was in
found
free
it under
cash.
borrowing.
14.
All right,
All right. I move for approval of
I
Articles
had it right in the first.
2 through 23 as presented for $22,416,749 from tax levy, $929,900 from free cash, $320,600 from water and sewer enterprise, $435,000 from water and sewer enterprise, $1,004,000 from available funds, and borrowing of $3,610,000.
Second.
Second.
Take a picture, Jim, so you got it.
Yeah, really. Is that what you're doing?
Hello,
Yes, Dan, hand up. Go ahead.
thank you. So, Liz, for a moment, can you sum column C and D? What do those two add up to? 23, 346, and 649. I gotta make sure I match it. Thank you.
Any discussion? There was a second, correct? Get a second?
Yep.
Evan, second?
Yes.
Thank you. Any discuss, Dan, still hand up, are you good? Hand down. Any further discussion on the articles for you tonight? All right, motion before you for the articles is the sum of $22,416,749 from tax levy. Free cash, $929,900. Water enterprise, $320,600. Sewer enterprise, $435,000. Available funds, $1,004,000. And borrowing, $3,610,000. All those in favor? Is there anybody opposed? Let's go back to the agenda.
How close are we in the?
Yeah, so Liz will provide me this information and, we'll share it. Dan will check his numbers, against our budget forecast, and I think we're in really good shape. I'll defer committee comments to a future meeting. I have 2 meeting minutes, to approve. We have meeting minutes from, April 6th for the forecasting subcommittee. Entertain a motion.
Move that we accept the April 6th forecasting subcommittee minutes.
And I second that. I was at the meeting. Any discussion on the forecasting subcommittee meeting minutes from April 26th? All those in favor? Those on the
Aye.
forecasting, anyone opposed? Thank you. And although we didn't write them, I have the tri-board meeting minutes that we were part of that were presented through Maureen Butt. I'll entertain a motion on those. Excuse me, tri-board meeting was April 15th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion on the tri-board meeting minutes from April 15th. All those in favor? Okay.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you all for a long night. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. I appreciate everybody's attendance and effort as usual.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.